If someone doesn't like what they're listening to, turn the fucking channel.
What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up? What's going on?
What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
I'm loving this where the guy comes in and interviews the host. This is wonderful.
I did almost kill my dad once.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to be the first guy to laugh. No.
Come on, man.
No, he's known for dropping deuces on the dang stage.
Fell into it. It was a terrible bad habit, and there was no mentor there to tell me, hey, stop doing that.
They need it. You're just taking up space. All right, bitch, why don't you go first?
You're like a wanted man, Ronnie.
Got him.
They can kiss my ass, all I'm saying.
Ronnie got hit again. Oh, yes, he did. I think he did. Dude, tell us, Ronnie, how much of that do you have in you?
It's fucking great story. I had so many questions.
Opinion. Most of the things I talk about are my opinion. Don't we all have our own opinions of how things look to us and, you know, what we think is going to happen and everything?
And if you work hard enough, you can achieve whatever you want.
We all have an opinion, so what the hell they got against mine?
You have the wrong opinion.
I couldn't always afford stuff to grill, and so I was like living off the dollar menu.
Sometimes when I think about it, I think I must be going insane. You know, this can't be the way it is. Like, we cannot be at this point of censorship. Am I wrong? You know, because I tend to agree with most things you guys or Ronnie might say on his channel.
Well, I don't agree with everything that Ronnie shares. You know, he and I have talked about a lot of things that we do agree on and a few things that we don't, but it doesn't matter. He should still have the right to say them.
Yeah.
That's the main point. Those conversations need to take place.
You just came after my shit joke, but then gave props to Steve Harloha's fart.
If you look at the results of something, you can see the intentions of the people that created the situation.
30 days of no power and water in America, probably 70% of the American population ain't gonna make it. And a lot of crooked government want to make money off of it.
The cops are minutes away when seconds count, guys. And we're just going to have to fucking own that as red-blooded Americans and take our stripes and go take our fucking country back.
It's that easy. Yep.
Run up if you want some, you gon' have a problem, yeah.
What's up? Aloha. Oh, I got the overlay on. Hold on. There you go. That's a little better.
Here we are. You know that picture there is supposed to look like me, Steve? That picture of whatever it was, electronic generator or something?
That's the closest I can get with AI. I don't know.
Let me tell you, if you had known my other friend, the one that died about a year ago, it looks exactly like him. It don't look like me, but it looks like him. I come here to tell you it does. It does, man. I look and I said, damn, that's Robert. That ain't me.
I need a better picture of you. That's why, because the one I got's like a little blurry, and then AI like can't. So that's like the clip. But
well, it got one thing right. I'm old. That's right.
Yeah, this one. That one's not, but that one. Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
That one is actually the picture of you that I had, and it did like 9 of them, and that was the closest one.
You know what? If that picture there had a full beard on it, I mean, about this long, it would look exactly like it because he always wore a beard.
I think one of them did. That's funny. I think one of them did have a beard.
You should use it because that means it's going to look like him anyway. I mean, you know, why not? Don't bother me none. I'm just saying, you know. I thought, damn, I look exactly like Robert. Older in the hills. But hey, that's all right. At least God was kind enough to me to let me get here, you know. And by the way, happy Easter, everybody.
Yes, happy Easter.
Or Ishtar.
You got Snooks 22, William Gramer. Oh, William Gramer's here. Hold on one second. We got to make sure that this is going to be a damn good show.
Absolutely. Well, as long as our announcer is here, it's almost got to be. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah. It's like a guarantee. It's a guarantee as long as he's here.
Hello, Meemaw Patriot. J.S. Urban. How y'all done today? Snugs. Rich.
Steve-O. Hey, Rich. What's up, Rich?
Oh, man, I got to tell you here a few minutes ago, well, about an hour before we went live, my manager was over there, and this is for the whole park, not just me, but and him. But he cooked a bunch of stuff. I mean, ham, sweet potatoes, corn on the cob, coconut pie, quite a bit of stuff, and brought me up 3 plates over here, 3 plate loads of food. And so I ate all I could, but I'm sure after the show I'll eat some more. It's good, man, and awful good of him to do it. And I would mention his name, but I don't know that he'd want me to do that. So thank you, Trailer Park Manager.
You said 3 plates?
3. Well, one of them had the dessert in it. One of them had the ham.
Oh, okay.
In it. Another one had a baked potato. Something. Oh, the corn on the cob. But it took 3 plates, to run and carry it all over here. Mighty nice. So.
I ain't making me hungry.
Boy, it's good. Hello, Dakota Hayes. Good to see you, girl.
Dakota. What, you need to get down? Pablo wants to get down.
Oh, Pablo?
Yeah, he's on this stool, and it's not even that high, but he's afraid to jump.
Well, he didn't want to take a chance of getting hurt. I don't blame him. Oh, and Dakota, where were you at the other night? Got my new channel going, and she wasn't there. Neither was the deal for real. But hello, everybody.
The deal for real, the deal is real.
That's for damn sure.
The deal for real is so real that the deal is real.
And you had to say it at least twice.
And you gotta say it twice.
That's just the way it is up here. Navy Vet, hello and welcome.
Hey, Navy Vet, Aloha. Creek Squad.
Creek.
So this just reminded me, Steve was a happy Resurrection Day. Yesterday I went and looked at a job at a church, and well, I'm doing the job Tuesday, which is good because a lot of times I look at jobs and don't get them. But so anyway, when I was leaving, the contractor guy is like, yeah, so we he goes something about they go off the old calendar or something. He's like, so our Easter is the following weekend. I'm like, huh? If you go off the old, like, but I was like, I didn't want to hang around, so I didn't ask.
Yeah, well, the old calendar, I think, and I get them mixed up. I'll be the first to say that, but there is no calendar that they said the military has already gone back to. So, and it said there's a Julian and a Gregorian. So whichever one we're on now, we're going to flip back to the other one at some point. I don't know when. I'm just saying at some point.
Yeah, because he even said Jesus' birthday wasn't December 25th, but it was like like everything he was saying, it's only like a week or 2 difference. And I'm like, that's not how I heard the difference of the calendar was, like, wasn't it like months?
Well, no, it's actually first of all, there's 14 days that they added to the calendar. I mean, like one night you go, when we went to bed, this has been many years ago, so it was done before hello, Will SP. It was done many years before we were born, but they added 14 days to the calendar. Like if you went to bed that night and it was August the 4th, when you came back, it was August. The next morning, it's August 18th.
Right.
So, but then there's the calendar itself, and that may be the calendar. I've looked at them and I've studied them, but there's so much in my head I get it all mixed up. But anyway, that's basically what it is.
Shit, if I went to bed and it was August 4th and then the next day it was August 18th, I'd be like, how much did I drink?
They may have. They may have.
That was one I blacked out for a long time.
But hey, I'll be glad to go back. Whatever the true calendar is of God's, that's the one I want to go back to. Just like the Constitution, I want to go back to the original Constitution, because the one we got is not the original Constitution. I know a lot of people think it is, but it ain't.
No, yeah, they made a bunch of changes.
Yeah, and I think it was 1871 when they it was in 1870 when they redid the Constitution. And there's not a whole lot of changes in it, but it changes from a republic to a more or less democracy, and which gave them all, the power.
That, and once I've been hearing this for a couple of years, and it hasn't happened, but get rid of the daylight savings.
Oh yeah, that needs to go, no doubt about it.
Because they've been saying that for a few years, like, oh, this October, once they change the clocks forward, then that'll be it. It's just going to stay, and they're not doing it. And then another year goes by, and then another October goes by, and then another October, and it's like, whatever.
Well, they do it to keep us confused, and kind of. At least that's what I think. I think they do it to keep us confused and off balance, and I think we've been living under their frequency and everything for so long that it's going to take a while to, for everybody. Even when it changes over completely, boy, it's going to be tough for everybody to, including myself, to figure the new things out. But it will change back over sometime. Not necessarily while we're alive, but I'm just saying, at some point. You ready for the big eclipse, Steve?
What's that?
You ready for the big eclipse?
Yeah.
On the
I've
8th.
heard so many different things about it. It's like,
I know, man. It could be weird. It could get very weird. Low flea market floppy disk. Welcome.
What the flip-flopping floppy disk is going on? See, now I'm going to have to start saying that when I use the flip-flopping. What the flip-flopping floppy disk is this?
There's Terry. Welcome, Terry. Good to see you, brother.
Terry, aloha.
13 months, 28 days per month is the old calendar, based on lunar cycles as it probably should be. There you go. Thank you, Anon Mouse.
Yep, that's what I was trying to remember. Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to remember, the 28 days per month.
I've got it all wrote down in my book, but I don't know where it's at. That book is full, and so it's a pretty good sized book. So, kind of like the Bible. I mean, I ain't saying it's the Bible, but for all my notes and things in there, I have got it wrote down, but it take me a week to find it. But I just think that with the eclipse and everything coming up, that, and I ain't talking about necessarily Hawaii or any other country, but I know a lot of people that read the Bible, and go by the Bible, which I do, to a point, but they are saying there's going to be at least 3 days of darkness. That's what they're saying. Yeah, that ain't coming from me. It's coming from them. I just want y'all to know that. Right. But the Bible does speak of that, over Babylon, that there'll be 3 days of darkness.
That's what I was just about to ask, if what you or anyone in chat, what you guys think is going to happen, or if do you just think it's just going to be because we've had so many eclipses, right? In my lifetime, I remember a bunch of them, and it was never a big deal about it. Like,
well, the thing with this one is, and if I'm wrong here, somebody in the chat, please straighten me out. But the way I understand it, all the planets are lined up on this, every one of them on this eclipse. And the funny thing is that the moon, supposedly, now I'm not an astronomer, I'll put that out there first, but the moon is not supposed to be anywhere near the sun to cause an eclipse. So if it's not the moon causing the eclipse, then what would it be?
I've never heard that. Really? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like saying, I'm not an astronomer. I'm just repeating. So, but if that's what me and my manager talked about just the other day. As a matter of fact, is that the fact that it's not the moon. According to these astronomers that I've been watching everything, it's not the moon. They think, the astronomers think that it's Nibiru, which I don't believe. I'm just telling you what they think it is. Come between the sun and the earth. We shall see, that's for sure. But it's very interesting. And the thing is, though, that regardless of what happens or what's causing the eclipse, it's of God. In my mind, there's no doubt about that. So I definitely think something pretty good size is going to happen. What Steve will say here. Bill of Rights is not the Constitution of the United States. It certainly ain't. That confuses people. The Constitution we declared God-given right. Bill of Rights is by man. And I said, give Bill what his bill's only right. Oh, right on, Steve. No, the Bill of Rights is definitely not the Constitution.
Give Bill what his bills. Give Bill what his bills. It's only right. Yep.
But which bill? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it's just like I was thinking about this the other day. Well, one, we get a credit score by the people that are trillions in debt. That doesn't make sense, right? Like they give us a credit score, but they're trillions in debt. And on top of that, they're constantly taxing. Like, you know, and I was thinking this because I got to renew my tags on my work van. And there's another $400 and something. And it's like, I got to give them more money just so I can keep driving and working. It's like, you know, like my God-given rights is I bought this van. It's paid for. That's it. I shouldn't have to pay for tags or renew it and just keep giving the government money that they're just getting further in debt with anyway.
I certainly agree. It's the same thing with your house or whatever. Same exact thing. You don't ever own anything outright. Never. You get to pay taxes on it. If you got that house and car, whatever, completely paid for, you're still going to pay taxes on it. So it's not really yours.
Right. Yeah. If you own it outright and then don't pay taxes, they could still take it. So you really still don't own it. Hey, Nada. Aloha. Welcome. Let me wrench you up. Hanging out with Nada and JS Urban's channel last night. Pretty cool. He's from Hawaii. Doesn't live here now, but he's from Hawaii.
Yeah, and LSP lives in California, so he knows about those roads to nowhere to pay for it, and they don't go anywhere. Kind of like the rail system they were building out there.
Yep. Oh, it's only going to be 1 billion. Oh, 2 billion. Oh, 5 billion. Oh, 10 billion. Now it's at 12 billion, and it's not even halfway done. Big Chap. What's up, brother?
Chap?
Good to see you,
bro. Big Chap is here. The evening is near. So don't be drinking no beer. Which they already is.
Big Bad Chap.
There you go.
The license is on the bumper. Hey, isn't it back there?
Well, Van, see, he don't have to worry about any of that, though, because he makes so much money that,
right?
You know, God, I bet he's got 50 million put aside in the bank somewhere, probably overseas, you know, on a safe deposit box or something. Van's got mucho plenty cash.
He's probably got like a separate, like a spare room, or it's like his little side room before he goes to bed every night, and he just goes in there and does the with his money just so he can sleep better. Like, yeah, okay, now I can go to sleep.
No kidding. Well, you know, when you've been an electrician as long as he has, and you're making all that money, you got this big old beautiful beard. I bet he owns a bank.
Oh yeah,
outright.
See, he's just being humble and just doesn't tell us that part.
Van humble? No, I don't think we're talking about the same Van. Sorry, Van. Got to give somebody a little hard time over here and there. But you know what the problem is, Steve? With me and Van, I've got to put him in timeout again one of these days. You know, I used to do it quite often, but I hadn't done it here lately for some reason. I'm gonna have to start doing it.
That's right. Yeah, remember the timeout wars?
Oh, yeah.
Time each other out for no reason.
Well, what happened with Van, and I only did it one time. But what happened with him is I don't remember if I was going to give somebody a wrench or what. But about the time I went to give him a wrench, well, the chat jumped, and when I hit the button, it put him in timeout instead of.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember, I think I remember that, and I remember Nina did that on accident once to As If It's Your Business, because we were live streaming, but we were at not the beach, but we were getting ready for like one of the sunsets, and we were barbecuing. and she put her phone in her back pocket, and when she did, somehow it timed out as if out of all the people, you know, he's like been my longest.
I think I was watching that day.
And she's like, "Oh, I didn't." And I'm like, "Well, it says you timed him out." And she's like, "The phone's in my back pocket. I would never." It's funny.
It was funny with Van too that night, and it was an accident. I didn't mean to do it, but the next time I'll be doing it on purpose.
I'll throw all my money away to have you guys' money.
You'd be disappointed, Van, with my money. I can tell you that. Very disappointed.
We've had this person on with us before. So we'll just give the introduction of JS Urban Adventures. Oh, I got to switch this. There we go. What's up, man? Long time no see. Long time no see.
I saw you last night.
I know.
But if you seen him last night, what are you doing here today? Ain't once a week enough?
I had to show off my Easter eggs.
There you go. Which one's got the money in it?
Hopefully
are they actual hard-boiled eggs, or are they
yeah, they're real eggs.
Actual hard-boiled? Sweet.
What's going on, guys?
Hard-boiled eggs, but you know, being as it's Easter, but I'm not going to boil any. It's too hot in here already.
Yeah, I boiled like 24 eggs, and I've been eating eggs for 2 days. It's rough.
It certainly is, especially when you're sitting around the table with a bunch of guys playing poker and everybody's eating those eggs.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's job security for Steve.
Yeah, it certainly is. Man, I'll tell you what, that's what we used to do. Said this, we'd go to this guy's house, play poker, and he always had a big old gallon jug, you know, of boiled eggs in there, in I guess in vinegar. Well, I don't know what he had them in, but
pickled.
Yeah, and so, but you know, everybody get hungry, and so they start eating those eggs. And Lord, I'm telling you, you wanted somebody to fart, and it stinks so bad you think he's going to die after you get to the door. You have to start wearing the gas mask.
Yeah, what is it with like hard-boiled eggs that, man, it just makes your farts like unbearable?
It's like sulfur or something. I think they have sulfur in them. It smells like what I would imagine hell smells like.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It smells worse than a rotten egg.
And you talk about keeping Steve in business now. If he were to have been at one of them poker games, he might not be alive today, you know, if he couldn't get the door quick enough. Man, that was rough.
You know what? That just reminded me, the hardest for me smell-wise, and it wasn't even plumbing. When I was like 15, I had like this part-time job in Ohio when I lived in Ohio for a very short time. And they delivered appliances, and I was just like the guy's helper. And we were delivering these stand-up full-size freezers to this warehouse that they made sausage. And it burned my nose. The smell was so bad for the factory where they made sausages. I couldn't breathe. It burned. It literally felt like someone had a torch on the inside of my nose. And I was 15, and I'll never forget that. It's like, oh my God, how could you work there and be in that all day long?
Yeah, I know. There's a place in Wichita, Kansas, where my sister lives. We went up there to see them one time. Well, we went to see them a lot of times, but this particular time we took a different route, and it took us by this. I don't know if it was. I don't remember if it was where they. I think it was where they kill livestock, you know, and everything, a meat plant, whatever you call it. Oh, it stunk so bad. And we got a railroad track went right by it, and there was a train there, so we had to sit there and wait for that train to pass. The awful smell. I mean, it was rank.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have septic tanks in Hawaii, Steve?
They do, yeah.
As a plumber, do you ever got to clean those out?
No, that's like a whole separate company in itself, because they got those, like, what do they call it? Vector trucks or whatever. Those big those trucks that are basically a huge vacuum.
Yeah, they go in and pump them out.
Hello, Cheryl. Welcome.
I did. Dude, that's crazy you brought that up because this was like 11, 12 years ago. But it was in Kaneohe, and we were cabling out this guy's sewer, and we didn't know he was on septic. Well, they didn't either because they were selling it, or they just bought it, or one of the two. And so by the time we figured that out, we're like, oh, it's your septic. It's not your sewer line. So, but then when we went to go try to locate it, we noticed like this small hole in the ground, and we looked, and it was like 15 feet deep, just like a sinkhole. And we're like, dude, could you imagine like if you're out here on a riding mower cutting your grass and you just
Dropped
drop
into a hole.
I mean, it was like it was crazy. I know I got pictures somewhere.
That was their septic?
Well, it was right next to their septic,
Oh,
but
okay.
it was like it had to have been like making itself for a long time. But if that little tiny hole wasn't there, we would have never known. But we looked in that hole and we're like, holy shit, dude, it's like a cave. It's like humongous.
Yeah, those guys that get down in the septic tanks and clean them out, that job must suck.
Yeah, screw that.
'Cause when
I
you're
don't care
walking
how
by
much
an
it
open
is.
one, you smell it for the whole block. Could you imagine being in there? I guess they probably
Right.
have gas masks.
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones around here anyway, all they do, the guys clean them out. They got a truck, and they come out and stick a hose down in it, and it don't take them 15 minutes to pump it out, and they're gone.
Yeah. But if they get like clogged up or damaged, then they got to go down in there sometimes. And they
Well, I tell you what,
a spinner, basically a giant egg whipper, and they're like, just try to stir it up, clean it out. Ugh.
Yeah, what happened to ours one time is the lateral lines collapsed. This house is probably a good 30, 35 years old at the very least. And I kept noticing, a slump out in the backyard, and I thought, well, why is it? And it wasn't just a 3 or 4 foot long. I mean, it's about a foot deep and all the way down the lateral lines. Well, of course, at first I didn't know where the lateral lines were, but I found out, and that's what it was, is the lateral lines. Then it got stopped up. And that's basically what we had to do was pump that out and get down in there to get it, where it worked again.
Yeah.
But it got to working again. Never had any more trouble with it. Hello, Miss Karen. Welcome.
Karen Reese, aloha. Hey, Rome 13, aloha.
Why in the States don't they use microorganisms for the smell to go away and not have to clean it as often? I don't know.
Yeah, there's stuff you can buy and flush down your commode once every 30 days, I think it is.
Yeah, they got like BioClean and a bunch of products like that it's like organisms that break down everything in your sewer pipes. And
it's basically like it's the same thing as bad milk. When if you got some milk and it goes bad on you, well, don't pour it out. If you got a septic system, pour it down your commode or something, and it eats up those. It does the same thing.
enzymes. Thank you, Navy vet. That's exactly enzymes. I remember I used to work for a plumbing company in Michigan, Phil's Plumbing, and they got that. I think it was called BioClean. And then when the guy, it was like a mandatory company meeting, and they always were on my day off, which sucked. Because it was 45 minutes where I lived. I had to be there at 7 a.m. on my day off. But anyway, the guy comes in to like try to sell the company to order all these BioCleans to sell them to our customers and stuff. And he's it's like all natural and doesn't harm the system. It's not chemicals, and it's like a powdery thing in this jar. And he like puts his finger in it, and he's like, see, it's safe. And he ate some of it. I'm like, dude, the bathroom's over there because you're gonna need that in like 10 minutes, bro. Because talk about a laxative. Holy shit.
That's what the door-to-door cleaner salesmen do when they have the spray cleaner. They're like, it'll clean your shoes, it'll clean your door. Look, it's even safe to eat. They'll spray it on their tongue.
Right.
It's like, is that gonna make me want to buy your cleaner that I can drink it?
I know.
Just get a Gatorade.
Well, that way you wouldn't have to buy any more soda pops, I guess. Just to use your cleaner.
Does it have alcohol in it?
Yeah, it's got to have alcohol, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
to do any good. I mean, for us.
That's crazy. Yeah,
I'm
Steve was in my stream last night, and Floor in the chat, she lives in Guatemala. Somebody dang broke into her house during the stream.
During the stream, yeah, it was crazy because it was nothing none of us could do. It's like we're just like, oh shit, what?
She's freaking out like, my dogs are barking. There's somebody in my house. There's somebody in my house. I guess some drunk guy wandered into her house and was trying to pass out somewhere, and she's freaking out in the stream. And I'm like, all these guys are like, get that thing, get that, the blicky.
Get your Second Amendment right.
Yeah, I don't know if it's called the Second Amendment in Guatemala, but get that
that's
thing.
true. But, yeah.
We're all like, we can't do anything to help you. This kind of is freaky because your country's away and we're just watching, thinking it's about to turn into a snuff film in the middle of my stream.
Right.
Who was that again? JS?
You said who was it?
Yeah.
That's Floor Cheese in the chat. Floor Cheese 13.
Oh, okay.
Yep. This and
okay.
That's the perfect response too. I almost pooped my pants. I almost did too for you.
Well, kind of glad I wasn't there because I might have actually did it. So.
That's what everyone in chat was saying. They're like, well, I'd be calling the cops now because I'd be saying there's a dead man in my house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well,
but they don't have a castle doctrine down there. So, if somebody comes into your house and you shoot them, I don't know if I should have said that, but if you take care of the problem, you go to jail.
Yeah, I watched a video the other day of a guy. This guy broke into his house. Now it was in his house. He tried to keep the guy out to start with, and the guy just barged in anyway. Well, he took care of him, and unalived him. Well, that guy that unalived him went to jail.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right on the spot, protecting his own home.
Yeah, guilty until proven innocent. And then even when you're proven innocent, they still get you for like manslaughter or something.
Well, I hope nothing happens to this guy because it was on film. He had cameras in his house.
I don't know how many states still have castle doctrine, but they're trying to get rid of it. I think Texas still has it. Most of the red states probably still have it. They're trying to end that so that if somebody walks up on your porch or is coming, and remember, what was it, a year or two ago when they were doing the story about the young black kid that got shot and they were saying it was racist because the older white guy shot him on his porch. Remember that story?
No, I don't.
Not right offhand.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the race is unimportant, but you know how the media plays it up, and they, if it's a white guy and a black guy, then they say it's a racist thing.
Oh yeah, it's always a race thing.
But it was a young kid, and it was late at night, and he was trying to get into this old man's storm door. So he's messing with the storm door, trying to open it, and the guy opened the door and shot him. And then it was all over the news. It was a racist, white supremacist attack, and blah blah blah. And all these stories were coming out like that, and they were saying we need to take a look at castle doctrine because people shouldn't be able to do this.
Well, when you can't protect your own home, then that's I don't know what that is. It's worse than a Nazism as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But take care, big chap.
Yep. Much love, brother. Happy Easter, man.
I think his name was Ralph Yarl. I remember that name.
Well, we know Big Chap will be safe as far as those firearms and Second Amendment.
Pew-pews and the
shit goes down. That's who I want to be next to right there is Big Chap.
Hell yeah. Chap, I know that he's invested in a lot of lead. Other people invest in silver and gold. Chap, you invest in lead. Which ain't a bad idea. I got something to show him here, hopefully on my next show, which I should have it by then. Because he's always griping at people about this, And I haven't gotten it up till now, but I got it now. I hadn't got it here at the house, but I've got it. And so I should have it tomorrow, and I will have it on my next show, and I'll show everybody what it is. But it's something that Chap always drives home, about water, food, all these kind of good things, and having a way to, to clean. If, say, for instance, the water shut off, if they just knock down our grid and the water goes down. Well, that's what these things, the tablets, are for, to drop in water, purified.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. So
what about hydrogenated water?
The who?
Hydrogenated water.
Hydrogenated water.
I don't know what hydrogenated water is.
Is that like wet water?
Yeah, the water's wet. Hey man, why is the water wet? But no, can you see like the bubbles and stuff?
Yeah.
It just hydrogenates it.
That's crazy.
I have no idea. But I've been drinking a lot more water than I normally do the last few days since I got it.
Does it taste pretty good? Does it kill dirt? What does it do?
You're gonna have to ask Heather Joy. She's better at explaining it. But her and Coach Kermit were telling us about it, and so I'm like, man, no, I got to get one. But they were saying it's got like a little bit of a weird taste. I think it tastes good.
Is that like? Did you buy that at the store like that, and it just always bubbling, or you turn it on and it bubbles?
You have to turn it on. Yeah, it's well, you got to charge it, and then there's I see. I got the green screen. You can't really see.
There you go.
You just hold this down, and then it goes for 3 minutes. Or if you click it twice, it'll go for 6 minutes. But yeah, you have to turn it on.
And it's just refillable. You can just put water in it, and it's like filter the water.
I don't think it filters it.
Just pumping air into it, ain't it?
Huh.
Basically, yeah.
That's about what they do with fish. It's.
Isn't that oxygenating the water?
You think?
Kind of. Yeah, I gotta look up. I wish Heather Joy was here right now. She could explain it better, but like the benefits of it. Hey, look who's here.
That's what I just.
What's up, man? Okay. Aloha, brother. How you been, man? Me and Ronnie were talking about you the other day. Like, what's up with Unspecified Podcast?
Sure were. Everybody's been asking about it. There's been asked about it in the iChat the other night.
Well, Unspecified Podcast has landed.
He has. Landon has landed. Shame on you for giving us all that kind of scare, Landon.
Yeah, we were worried, man. Like, what? He just disappeared. What's going on?
I was talking to Steve the other day. He was talking about how you got a channel banned, Ronnie, and that every time you make a new channel, it gets banned again.
Oh yeah.
And, do you know anything about VPNs?
I don't know anything about VPNs.
If you get a VPN, it's a program where you can change your IP address every time you go on the internet. Because when you make a new account on the same computer or the same phone, YouTube still knows that it's you.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. They identify the IP address, and then they mark you as same person, different account. So all your different accounts, they know those are all you. And anytime any of them start to grow, they're going to just shut them down again and again. But if you have a VPN and you can change your IP address every time you make a new one, they won't know that it's you.
Well, how do you get a VPN?
There's NordVPN. I think maybe there's some free ones, but the good ones, you got to pay for them, like a monthly subscription fee. There's like NordVPN, and I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but just
what would I got to just go on the computer to get it, or what? I mean,
yeah, check. I mean, the popular one is NordVPN, and you always hear like channels, they'll be advertising them on their channels. Like, try this VPN so that you can browse safely and blah, blah, blah. So I just Google VPNs and check out the prices and look into it a little bit.
What does that stand for, by the way? Do you know?
Verified. I don't know. Verified PIN number, or verified personal network, or something like that.
I'm going to have to look into that, because what I was telling Steve a while ago, I got some videos that I would absolutely love to show. But if I do, well, I know exactly what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. These are some ass-kicking videos. Very good videos, by the way. But if I do, then... And here's the thing. I lost 2 channels like that at one time. Didn't have a strike on either channel, didn't even have a warning on either channel, and they took both of them. Didn't even send me an email.
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying virtual private network. And another cool thing about them is that a lot of people don't realize that the internet is different in each country. So like I'll do a video and it might get banned in Russia or something like that. But if you want to find out the news about what's going on with Russia and Ukraine or whatever, you can get a VPN and you can basically surf the internet as if you were in Russia. So you can see all their news. You can see the Chinese. If you want to find out what's going on in China, you can like, it'll make your VPN look like you're in China. So when you go on the internet, you'll see Chinese internet. And you can just see what's going on. But you know, maybe you got to know how to read Chinese.
Yeah. Which I don't.
Yeah, me neither. We should all start learning.
Maybe so.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the top 7 free ones.
Okay, I've heard of ExpressVPN.
But by free, I don't know. By free, it's probably like 1 month free trial, and then you pay. But CyberGhost, private internet access, private VPN, and then there's NordVPN. I guess they got a
and I think all of them. Yeah, just like you said, it's going to be a trial membership, or if you want all the features, you're going to have to upgrade.
Right.
What'd you type in, Steve, to get that pulled up?
What's that, Ronnie?
What'd you type in to get that pulled up?
I just put VPN free.
Oh, okay.
And then.
Well, I'm going to have to definitely look into that because I'm sick and tired of losing channels and getting strikes and everything and getting my videos taken down. I had one taken down a couple weeks ago that it was one of my best videos, and they take it down because of it might have been my very best video. They took it down because the last video I played has some music in it. All I have to do is go back and edit out that last part with music, and I think, and they'll put it back up. But I don't know how to edit stuff that they give you through StreamYard or YouTube, whatever it is awful. I mean, I don't know the slightest thing about using their editing tools.
Yeah, I do my editing on my phone.
The editing thing they give you in the YouTube one, that shit's so confusing.
Yeah, I use a program called KineMaster on my phone. It's like $40 a year, and then I can edit all my videos on my phone. It's a pretty good editing program.
What's it called?
KineMaster, KineMaster.
I haven't heard of that one. I used to use. I don't even remember. But before I got my desktop computer, I used to do everything on my phone, but I don't remember the name of the app that I used. Shoot.
Well, you know what? Now that Unspecified Podcast is back, we're going to have to get his butt back up here. Him and Tiffany back up here pretty soon.
Oh,
Steve.
Yeah.
Thought you got unalived or something there, Landon. Darn.
Starting to get worried, man. Let me see. I'm gonna send Landon an email real fast.
Uh-oh. Look out, Landon. He's going to cut you out in this email.
I'm hunting you down.
He's after you.
There, sent.
You guys doing anything cool for Easter? Family,
I'm doing together. It right now.
This is a podcast.
What I was going to say.
Nice.
Had a good Easter dinner there, JS. Did you hear me telling about my manager brought over a great Easter dinner a while ago? He cooked it on his grill, whatever that is over there. But
nice.
Man, it's good. Ham, sweet potato, corn on the cob, and coconut pie, and some other stuff. I can't remember all of it now. Man, I'm telling you.
I love corn on the cob, man. I love corn on the cob.
So do I. Delicious.
Corn on the cob? You love corn on the cob?
I don't know what it is. It's just man, butter and salt
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
with my big old 2 front buck teeth choppers I got. Just
Yeah. Do you eat it like the cartoon, like a typewriter?
actually, I get my Milwaukee drill for work, and then I stick a fork, and then I stick the fork into the end of the corn on the cob.
You just drill it and go. That's funny. I got 2 frozen rabbits in my freezer.
What you freezing rabbits for?
To eat.
You're gonna save
Where
the
you
feet?
said it sounded like you had real live rabbits and
Yeah, I just catch rabbits and throw them in my freezer.
Yeah.
No, they're skinned, and yeah, I tried rabbit because my boss, well, my former boss, he raises rabbits in his backyard. He has a cage and everything, and he gave me one, and I tried it. It's pretty good. I liked it. And then we caught some trout, and we had too many trout in the freezer, so because I got my trout, and I got my roommate, or not my roommate, my former roommate. He lives near me now, and he comes over, and we got a ton of trout in the freezer. So
Yes,
the other guy traded us trout for rabbit. It's a pretty good trade.
You ever ate any squirrel?
I've never had squirrel.
Oh.
I've always wanted to.
That's crazy. You just asked that, Ronnie. That's literally what I was going to ask. If you've ever had squirrel, that's crazy.
Well, that's what our meat. You know, if we had any meat at meals, that's what it would consist of: is rabbit or squirrel. My dad would take his shotgun. He was a farmer, and so he'd take his shotgun to the field with him every day. And if he got a chance to get one, well, he'd get one. And then sometimes we'd go hunting too, and get a rabbit or squirrel. Yeah, that's what we used to eat all the time. If it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have had no meat.
Yeah. So I have a record, so I can't like own weapons or hunt and stuff like that, but I can with BB guns. I can have a BB gun, or I can hunt with a BB gun, and you can hunt squirrel with BB guns, but out here you're not allowed to shoot tree squirrels. You can only shoot ground squirrels, and the ground squirrels are like this big and they're so fast. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try to. I gotta shoot. I get a chicken nugget for hunting down this little fast little thing. That'll take forever. You'd have to get 20 of them.
They won't let you shoot tree squirrels. That don't make any sense to me. There's a gazillion of them.
Well, we have them out here in the parks and stuff, but once you go up to the mountains where you can camp, you don't see them that often. But like in my front yard, I got tree squirrels like crazy. But then when I go camping and I bring the BB gun and I'm like, I want to find a squirrel, I can never find a tree squirrel. I only find these little ground mole things.
So in Canada, all y'all can have is a BB gun?
Canada. I'm in Utah.
Utah. I don't know where I got you in Canada. That's somebody else.
No, because we were talking about Canada before backstage. I think.
Maybe so.
Because I brought up Canada.
Anyway, sorry about that, JS.
There ain't no squirrels here. 0 squirrels.
In Hawaii?
Yep.
No squirrels.
Y'all missing out on some good eating.
But our tree squirrels are meaty, fat little guys. Like,
I remember in Michigan, man, there was always squirrels everywhere. And they even had black squirrels. So they were diverse.
What'd you guys think about the ship running into the pile on there the other day and supposedly bringing that all down?
there's a lot of conspiracy theories going around.
Yep.
And I don't know.
Well,
I don't think
the flashes that went off when it hit it. They had charges up on top of the bridge. You could see them go bam, 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 bam down through there. It wasn't actually, in other words, it wasn't actually the ship that brought it.
Well, and the way it fell, it all just like another building that fell with steel beams that apparently melted, and it fell perfectly. It fell perfectly down at one time, and all the boat did. The video I saw, it looked like the boat made it through and then reversed and hit into it. But then from another view, it looked different. So I don't know if I just was seeing things, and then it barely taps the pole and the whole thing drops.
Uh-huh.
And I'm
yeah,
like,
I was told
It was the. Oh, go ahead, Randy. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I was told that what they done was they dropped the anchor. You know, the power went out and came back on twice on the boat, and so that I guess the captain had but he dropped the wrong anchor or only one. He should have dropped both of them. They got however many they got, but he only dropped the one on what's called the port side, and that pulled him right into that pylon. But I mean, that's what the excuse they're using. But it looks to me like he steered right into the pylon.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened.
I don't know if it's some nefarious plot and if they had control. I don't know about any of that, but I think something everybody can agree on is that bridge was built in the 70s, and since like the 60s, engineering has gone down, our manufacturing has gone down, the workmanship of all the workers. So the boat drivers aren't as good. The boats aren't built the same. The bridges aren't built the same. You know, if you do construction, you pay more and you get less quality now.
Well, I think what they were doing though is it's kind of like the one over there in the Suez Canal. I think I know they done that one on. The good guys had done on purpose somehow. I think that's the same thing here because of whatever was on that boat, the storage containers, which I don't know, but I got a good idea. What's on there.
Oh, like
what's here at the top now?
Like an evergreen type situation? Was that?
Yes.
Was that like Hillary Clinton storage containers?
You can say that.
I don't know if I'm not.
Definitely could.
But see how like where is it at? Black smoke started coming out. Can you see my little mouse there? Yeah. Black smoke started coming out. Then the lights go out. So it's like they had something to happen for the black smoke to come out like that. But then
there are cars driving across that. I thought the bridge was closed for construction, but I see cars.
Right, no, there's cars. Yeah. Could you imagine just driving and then all of a sudden you're just falling into the water?
They said the cars going across there were workers. They weren't. That looks like a truck going across right there, though. I mean, I'm just going to what they said.
Yeah, they said the bridge was closed and it was only workers on it, but there's multiple cars driving across it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's another
and
one.
I think,
but why did it turn? Look how it like the lights went out and it's like turning towards that. Why?
Yeah, when he dropped the anchor, supposedly.
Right. So that's like dumb. They should have dropped the anchor on the other side and it would have pulled the front of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's kind of like.
That is exactly the point. They dropped anchor on the wrong side.
It's like, was it on purpose? I don't know. It kind of seems like it, you know.
But watch these explosions when the ship hits that little.
Look how fast that just, like in less than a second, it's just.
I didn't see the explosions on that one, but you can see them on the video that I saw. Of course, I saw about 100 videos on this. So. But here's another question.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this angle yet. But that's wild.
It is, ain't it? You got to watch real close. He got out just in time, didn't he?
But even if it wasn't any like plot or anything, just that like the prefab houses today, they're made so everything's so cheap, but it costs us more to buy it. You know, a 2x4 costs more. But it's it's, you know, not a straight 2x4. The paneling on the house is all plastic. Everything's plastic and everything.
Yeah, it is. Oh, absolutely. But that right there, I'd almost bet that was done by the good guys for that reason. And I don't know if y'all know or not, but the truckers have been shutting down DC, and this is right around DC, so maybe that's part of shutting it down. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is what's the purpose, or is it? Because I heard somebody say that they were doing it to shut down supply lines, and I don't know. Like,
you're right. That is what a lot of people are saying. But
the government hates us. They want us all to suffer.
Well, then they were saying that the government wasn't going to help at all, but then there was such like backlash about it. Then Biden was like, "Well, okay, we'll give him $60 million." For something like that. That's like saying, "Yeah, here's $60. you know. It's like, oh, my car broke down and now I got to replace the engine. And someone's like, yeah, here's $100. Go ahead and get it fixed. It's like, what is that going to do? $100. It's like 60 million to fix that bridge ain't going to, you know.
Meanwhile, 1.2 trillion is going to go towards, you know, the rest of the world.
Right. The same guys that give us a credit score. Hey, Eric, aloha, brother.
5 fatalities, I heard. I saw a news article last night that said they have 6 so far, but that could be newer or.
And I heard that there was like eight vehicles driving on the bridge when it happened or something like that.
Yeah, and like I said, that's what they said. It's all employees. You know, there's out there working on the bridge, but that's just hard to believe. You know, and then a bunch of stuff comes floating over to the shore, you know, from it. Who knows what that was, but I think they had some stuff on there they shouldn't have had, whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's crazy. Even if it was, even if it was just an accident, that bridge should be, if it's only built from the 70s, there are bridges like I was talking to Floor in the chat and she's like, well, the bridge was really old. I said the bridge was not really old. It's from the 70s. There are bridges from the 1st century that are still standing in like Rome and you know.
Good point. Yep.
They got ancient bridges that still stand and they're made with rocks and clay and you know.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, though, with the stuff that they have been using over the years to build some of these bridges with, the steel was bad in it because it came from China. Now, I don't know about that bridge, but I understand a lot of it. A lot of the concrete's bad. I mean, there's got to have specialized concrete put into roads and bridges, or it'll just, you know, it ain't no good. So maybe that's part. I mean, I don't know. I'm just, again, throwing that out there, but it is the truth. You have to have that stuff.
Yep.
They paved the bridge.
Yeah, we just I don't think we put as much time and effort and quality work into the engineers aren't as good, the shipbuilders aren't as good, the bridge builders aren't as good. Everything's just lower quality and it costs more.
Yeah, and the only reason I know all that's because particularly about the concrete, is my brother older brother was a supervisor for the state, you know, concrete stuff here years back. And then when all this stuff started happening, I started doing some research. The steel itself is bad. So I mean, where that came from, China or U.S. or where, I don't know, but.
Which is so backwards too, right, Josh? About like the quality's shittier, but the cost is twice as much. What's up, Bolt?
And I think that's by design because I think they want people to be poor, the elite.
Right.
And that's like Marxism 101 is destroy the middle class, and it's them and us. The us are the elites that run things, and then everybody else is poor, and we're all equal. It's equality. It's fair. You know, we all have equal opportunity, but we're all equally poor. That's how they want it.
Right. Well, I don't get it because I can't go to work. I can't go do my job and do a shitty job. And well, I mean, I guess I could, but you know what I mean? Morally, I couldn't just go and do like a half-ass horrible job and be like, yeah, normally it's 500, but for you it's 1,000, and it looks like shit. It's probably gonna leak in 2 weeks.
Yeah. We just raised our prices, but I'm gonna be here less time, and do less good work. You know,
we doubled our prices, but I hired some dude I just met, never did plumbing in his life. He's gonna take care of it.
Yeah, that's called shrinkflation, Floor. It's like shrinkflation. You're paying more for a Big Mac, and it's a Little Mac.
Yeah, that's called Bidenomics.
Yeah, Big Mac costs you $10 now, and it's the size of a double cheeseburger.
Right. Yeah, you go to fast food, and man, I remember going like 20 years ago to get fast food. $5 was more than enough for like you and 2 of your friends. Now $5 doesn't get you shit.
Yeah, and I gotta put my order into this computer thing that probably doesn't work,
Right.
and I gotta pay for it. There's no cashier. There's no personal. There's no person talking to you,
I hate that
smiling
shit.
at you, taking your order. So it should be cheaper, but it's getting more expensive. They
I
pay for
refuse
mid
to go to
quality.
that self checkout shit. I refuse to go to that, man. I get, especially when I go to like Sam's Club, because Sam's Club used to be good. They'd have like 7 or 8, lanes open with actual people, opposed to like Costco would only have 2, and the lines would be super long. So I started going to Sam's Club more. But now Sam's Club put in all those self checkout, and even I'm like, nope, I'll still wait in the line to have someone that gets paid to do this to do it. And they still have people that work there come up to you and they're like, oh, this lane's open, self checkout. And I'm like, I clearly see that, but I don't work here. So no.
If they're gonna pay me for checking myself out, I'll do it. No, knock 20% off my groceries or something.
Right. Yeah. It's like, what do I get a Christmas bonus and shit too? Like, what's the deal?
And why are they paying you to direct me where to go? Why don't you just go stand at one of these lines and check me out?
Exactly. That lady's getting, or that lady that day was getting paid to tell us to do self checkout. Why don't you just open another register and check people out?
I heard that when they check your receipt at the door on your way out, that's a violation of the First Amendment. That's like a
I looked into that.
Search and seizure.
That's funny. I looked into that, but because it's a private business, it's not.
Yeah.
Because
They don't do
you
that
become
here.
a member, so you're agreeing to it.
They don't.
What's that,
Well,
Ronnie?
they don't do that here. At least at Walmart. And I hardly ever go to Sam's Club or anything. But at Walmart, they used to. I don't know why they stopped. But here they don't. They have people standing there. They're called greeters. And all they do is greet you when you come in and say thank you when you go out. But they don't.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.
My boss got banned from Home Depot for a year because he was at the self checkout, and I guess like a box of screws, he didn't scan it properly, put it in the bag, buying 500, and he's in there multiple times a week, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Man.
And he takes a box of screws and doesn't scan it, and he's walking out the door, and security runs up. Hey, you didn't pay for that. And then
he did it on purpose.
They take him in the office and they banned him for a year from Home Depot. He's like, I'm a contractor with Home. I come to Home Depot multiple times a week. And
I had it happen at Costco a few months ago because I did do the self checkout at Costco because it was ridiculous. I mean, the line was like halfway through the store for the one aisle that was open with an actual person, and I'm like, screw this. And when I scanned, I had 2 boxes of the coffee for the whatever that coffee thing, those little pods.
Oh yeah.
And it beeped when I ran it across, and then I put it in the cart and I paid for everything. And then usually when you're leaving Costco, there's like a long line just to get out because they're checking everyone's, which is even more irritating. But for some reason that day when I was like, nobody was in line to get out. So I'm like, oh, then she's like, oh, wait, something isn't paid for here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just go back and pay for it. What is it? And she's like, no, just wait. And then people started lining up behind. I'm like, I don't want to be that asshole that's holding up the line. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be that guy. And she's like, well, no, it's okay. Just calm down. I'm like, what didn't get paid for? I'll go pay for it. Like, and I started being a dick. And then like the manager came over and he pulled me aside and then he scanned it and I paid for it. And nothing like that happened, like, thankfully. But that's so stupid that people get in trouble for, you're kind of being forced to work there to cash yourself out.
Yeah.
And then you make a mistake and then now it's your fault. It's like,
yeah,
I didn't go through no training. What the hell, man?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, no one should have to be responsible for checking themselves out in the first place. I mean, back when I was a kid growing up, the customer was number one. The customer was always right. Now the customer is never right. I mean, it's changed so much from when I was 13, 14 years old. Just didn't do that shit back then. Because they knew what it is. The Walmart is they know they've got everything, more or less wrapped up, clothes, food, everything, just so they can get away with that kind of crap. they're not like a mom and a pop store, you know, where they got to be nice to their customers.
Yep. Well, and people still push for raising the minimum wage, and it's like, well, that's good. More of that stuff's going to happen, because if they have to pay a minimum wage worker $25 an hour, they're just not going to hire anybody. They're going to get more automation, more self-checkouts.
That's
they're going to stop hiring new people, just keep the people that are around. And also, what happens when you've been working there for 5 years and you've got raises and raises and raises, and now you're at $25, but then all of a sudden now they're hiring new people at $25 an hour, and you don't get no more raises because they can't afford to pay you more.
Yep. So you worked your ass off to get there, but hey, that's equality, right? You worked your ass off to get there, and then the next person just bumps themselves right up to the same. Basically, it's give me more money so I can do less work.
Yep. Would y'all hear about that mall? This has been about maybe 5 or 6 days ago. That there was so much theft going on at the mall, and all the stores, in the mall. I mean, people come in and just clean all the clothes, everything off the racks, and it did. I mean, groceries, whatever, it didn't matter, and just take it with them, not pay for it. Don't do any good to call the cops. So the whole mall closed down. I don't remember where that was at, though.
Was that New York? I just heard something about a mall in New York, because the subway, the subway goes through it, that mall or something, and people would just get out subway, go in, and just take what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even that old of a mall, and it costs a shit ton of money to make it too, and they're just like, fair.
Well, here to me, the question is for these people that are doing all the thieving anyway. When all these stores closed down and they had to go 50 miles to another one to get groceries or whatever, they're going to regret stealing all that stuff. I mean, you're hurting yourself when you do that. Why would you want to do that?
I don't know. They got videos where they're like walking down the sidewalk on like a block in New York, where like the homeless people and the drug people hang out, and it's like an open air market. These people have piles and piles of shoes and clothes, and so the cameraman or the guy doing the video is going through the clothes, tag on it. This is a $300 blouse. This is a $200 blouse, and the person is charging $20, $30 for it because they just need dope money.
Yeah.
And so, and it's like the mall is getting shut down on the corner. Here's all the product. It's on the sidewalk in piles, brand new shoes, brand new clothes, brand new purses, tag still on them, getting sold for 1/10 of the value. And it's like, well, there's your product. There's your stolen product. And
that's exactly.
The cops don't care about that. They shut them all down. And here's where it is right here.
Right. And because if it's not over $999, the cops ain't gonna do shit anyway.
Right. So they'll just get right up to that line and then come back the next day and do it again.
It's the same thing as them selling. People get food stamps and sell them. They take $200 for a food stamp, maybe get $75 out of it. Same thing. They'd rather buy the drugs than eat. And then they're going around on the sidewalk and everything, downtown or whatever. Hey, can you loan me $5 to get me something to eat, man? I'm starving to death. Well, you just got to selling all them food stamps down there, dude. It's your own fault.
Yeah, and I've done that before. I bought like $200 worth of food stamps from this one dude for like $70-$80. He's like, dude, man, get whatever, it's $200. Give me $80. We got some crab legs and shit.
Supposed to be 50 cents to the dollar. So if you got $100 of food stamps, you get 50. If you can get 75 for it, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know a lot of people that do that. And then there's people who would deny that happens. And it's like, yeah.
Really? People deny that happens? Well, I mean, I guess I've done it, so I know it happens. Hey, Stu.
I know it happens because I've seen it happen, and I've told people about it, and they're like, no, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. And maybe they're just being disingenuous because liberals are often disingenuous.
They don't like to believe the truth.
Right. They see it, but they deny it. They just ignore it or deny it.
Well, you know, we all know what's basically been going on, particularly here in the last, you know, what, 3.5 years now, is that they quit prosecuting these people on purpose because what they want to do is, you know, get rid of all of us, people that are truly Americans, and put the, you know, however you want to put it, the people come across the border. They want them to take our jobs. That's exactly what's happening, and so they're putting everybody out of business if they want to.
We call them survivors. Those are survivors, Ronnie.
Yeah, survivors.
Those people who come across the border, those are survivors.
Mm-hmm. Okay, survivors. Well, might as well just go ahead and call them Americans.
You can't call them illegals.
Just pisses me off to know we
can't call them what they really are.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know here in Texas, there's a good many sheriffs down on the border. Now, some of them, there's also quite a few sheriffs on the border that won't do anything. But there's a lot of them there that are ready to start, you know, unaliving people.
The border agents are wanting to do that.
No, the sheriffs.
The sheriffs, yeah. Just something crazy. It's gonna get crazy, and then something like that's gonna happen. But I was watching or did a story on my show the other day about, because I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and they said Salt Lake City is becoming the new sanctuary city that's not a sanctuary city. And so basically Salt Lake City is not categorized as a sanctuary city, but all the, like, you know, New York, California, they're like shutting down those sanctuary cities because it's getting out of control. Eric Adams was saying he's going to reconsider having New York be a sanctuary city because it's getting crazy. So they're sending them to places like Salt Lake City, Utah. And we have people getting flown in who they come in illegally, they get bused to New York, they get bused to LA, and then LA and New York fly them to red states, fly them to Salt Lake City and Florida, and it's crazy.
But then when they start putting them in the blue states, then it's a problem.
Well, here's what I think is so crazy about here in Texas. Now, the case here in Texas where the sheriffs and the law enforcement themselves can arrest illegal aliens, went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court okayed it, said it was legal, and what Texas is doing. Just a day or two later, who I guess is the Biden administration, appealed it again, even though it had already been in the Supreme Court. They appealed it again, and this court struck down what Texas' right to law enforcement they could arrest illegal aliens. It's just
well, and it's crazy because me and Floor in the chat, we talk about this a lot because we're married. We're legally married. We got married like 10 years ago, and we split up, and now we're talking again. Over the past couple of years, we've been talking, and for her to come to America, she has to do paperwork for like 5 years and get on a waiting list and do all this paperwork and go to court and blah, blah, blah for like 5 years to just come over here legally when we're married. Whereas everybody else is just coming in. If you want to do it right, they make it almost impossible. But if you want to do it the wrong way, they encourage you to do it.
No, absolutely. And no, Dakota, I didn't lose my channel. I got a strike on it. I should be done with, I think it's Wednesday when I can come back on. But I didn't lose it. Just got a strike.
But didn't that by being legally married too, doesn't she automatically have a visa?
Well, when we got married, it takes a while before you get your citizenship, and we split up before she ever got her citizenship.
Okay.
It was a mess. We were both crazy.
This was over 20 years ago, but my buddy from England was over here on a visa, and then him and his fiance at the time were going to get married, but they were going to get married in like a year and a half after that time. But then my buddy Simon, his visa was about to run out, so they got married, a year and a half earlier than what they were planning on getting married, so that he could become a citizen and not have to leave. So then they get married, and a month later they go to England, where Simon's from, for their honeymoon. And Brandy loved it so much they never came back to America. So now he's from England, but an American citizen. So he's living in England on a visa, even though he's from there. It was like some, but like I said, this is 25 years ago, probably 26, 27 years. But
yeah, it's crazy when you get married to an immigrant, because that's the same thing that happened with Flora. She was here on a visa. Her visa ran out, and she's like, I'm gonna get deported. And I said, well, let's get married, you know. And when you get married, they don't automatically get their green card. They like contact your family, they contact your friends, they want to see your Facebook records. You need to provide a whole bunch of records that show that we're not just getting married for papers. We're getting married because we love each other, blah, blah, blah. And they go through all your personal stuff. You know, my mom had to talk to a court person, and yeah, they really, if you're trying to come over here legally, they make it very difficult. But then they make it very easy illegally.
It's like trying to get a firearm here in Hawaii. They make it next to impossible to do it legally.
Well, come to Texas, you won't have no trouble.
Have you looked into this story about, where was this? They're trying to legalize Second Amendment rights for illegal immigrants somewhere.
I did hear something about that. Yeah,
they're going to make them police and everything. So they already have in California in some places.
Wow,
they are police. I mean, they don't even know our laws, and yet they made them police. I mean, it's just,
that's wild.
I don't even know what to say anymore, other than it looks like it may come to a point at some time in the future that, you know, whether we like it or not, we may all have to stand up and do our thing, you know. And I hope it never gets there, but hey, it looks like it is to me.
It's pretty damn close, that's for sure.
No kidding.
Yeah. And I'm a big Trump guy. I think Trump will do a lot of good things if he gets in again, but I also think it's just delaying the inevitable for another 4 years. Like,
well, I think once he gets in,
go ahead.
By the time he gets back in, he's going to get rid of a bunch of this stuff. I guarantee you. So I think it's going to be better than 4 years.
But you think he can reverse all this stuff? I think he can just stop it for a little while. But I don't know if he can reverse it, and maybe I hope so.
Well, I think that he's already basically, all these guys are watching now. I don't know. One believes me, and that's cool. I don't care. Well, I do care in a way I don't. But most of these bad guys we're seeing now have already been dealt with. I'll put it like that. And so what we're going through now is to show all of us what would have happened if Hillary would have won.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, it might as well be, you know, if it ain't real, it might as well be real, because you're sure feeling the pain. But it's, I think it's already all been done. I like the governor here in Texas. I think he was a rhino, let's say, before
Abbott.
You know, yeah, before all this stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's any way he would be putting the National Guard on the border and doing all the things he's done if he were still a rhino. Yeah, there's a chance I could be wrong, but I just don't believe it. I think they've all been all the ones. Now, I think there's a few in the blue states that haven't been dealt with, but there's very few.
I was just thinking that the other day when I was working I was getting gas, and I'm just like, man, I missed 4 or 5 years ago, man, because I didn't realize how good it was. I mean, I had so much work back then, and Biden comes in office, and it changed so quick. So I'm pumping $4.64 a gallon gas in my van, and I'm just going, God, man.
Yeah, oh, I know. I'm not a fan of bread.
I had so much work. I had so much work, and at the same time back then, I remember I used to drive my van till the gas light came on saying it was empty, and I tried to get it as empty as I could before I get gas, and I still couldn't have put more than $30 in it. Now, even if I'm at half a tank and fill it up, it's automatically more than $30. It's like, man.
I know. This whole thing is well, it's a mind bender. I'll put it like that. But Q did say that things are going to be awful bad. You know, it's going to look real bad. Now, could we be being played by Q? Of course. But to me, I think Q was more a reverse psyop than a psyop itself.
Huh. Yeah. That last night on my stream, one of the guys that I talked to on Discord, he was out at the clubs, and he was going up to random people at the club and letting me talk to them. And I was like, "Are you voting for Trump this year?" And like this one guy's like, "Well, unfortunately, no, I'm gonna have to vote for Biden." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "How was your life under Trump compared to now?" And he's like, "Well, things were cheaper under Trump." Oh, yeah, I agree. But unfortunately, Trump's a racist, so I still got to vote for Biden. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude?
People still actually think that, huh? That's crazy.
I said, tell me why he's a racist. And what did he say? I don't know. He said something
and the
dumb.
Democrat Party is the racist party, and they have been since the 60s.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Ku Klux Klan and all that. That's them.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Yeah, literally 100%. I mean, that's fact.
I don't know how anybody can vote for Biden over Trump in this election, but it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't know how they do it either. You know, if Biden would even half tried, you know, to keep the country on the right track, like Trump said, all he had to do is go to the beach. Leave everything the way it is, go to the beach. He could have had 4 years and come out looking like a fantastic president. But no, he didn't. So,
and everything that was good that Biden did, like he lowered the price of medications like insulin and stuff. He did the CHIP Act, so bringing our chip manufacturing to America instead of having Thailand run all of our chip manufacturing, which gets us in a war with China. But all those things Trump had already done. And then he came in and he executive ordered them away. And then he signed new bills to do the same thing with other extra stuff added into the bill. So he gets the credit, but Trump had already done that stuff and he ended it. And then he redid it.
I remember he reversed like everything like the first day.
Yeah, he did more executive orders than anybody on his first day. He did like 150 executive orders on his first day to cancel all the stuff Trump did. And then over the 4 years, he redid the same stuff Trump did and takes the credit for it.
Well, here's the thing that amazes me the most. All these executive orders that President Trump put into effect, Biden has supposedly re-okayed them, you know, what did you call that? Recertify them, however you want to put it. But and one of those executive orders that were really him is he's the one that caused executive order, like human trafficking and, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, us trying to steal an election and things like that. That's what those executive orders are for. But he has okayed them. Now, why? That'd be like me or any of us, you know, if we were the president and re-signing an executive order that is going to hang our ass at some point in the future. I wouldn't do it. Would y'all? But that's because he can't stop him, because he's not. Well, I'll put it. He may be the president of the defunct United States of America. He is not the president of the new one. President Trump is commander in chief at the very least. I think he's still president himself. I mean, we could argue about that, of course. But
well, when Biden sits down at his desk on camera and they put a bill in front of him that's 1,200 pages and it's a $1.2 trillion spending bill, I know for a fact he did not read that whole bill. You know,
he didn't even read his name.
He can't read it. So he just, they put it in front of him and he signs it. Probably looked like a scribble. They give him a crayon. He colors his name in the box.
Well, he asked that one day he was signing. He said, "What am I signing?" They said, "Don't matter, just sign it."
Yeah.
That's exactly what they
am I signing here?
They said, "Don't worry about it, just sign it."
Yeah, you just signed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, and $1 trillion of it goes to Ukraine's infrastructure.
Yeah, if anybody could look at him and say that that's the same Joe Biden. Plus, the other night on my channel, I showed a. It's almost impossible if you just go look at this thing not to believe that the guy now is a fake one, because this is more or less the same thing as a death certificate. It's got the ID on it for his memorial. All you got to do is pull up that number, and you'll find it. Yes, and I don't remember what the number is right now, but I still got it, and it more or less proves that he passed. I think this is 2021, if I'm not mistaken. There for a long time, I thought he had gone, in 2019, but according to this, it was in 2021. So I'll go along with that. But either way, that's not the real guy.
We're going deep conspiracy corner now.
Very deep. That's where I live.
Yeah.
And
Have you?
Well, you brought up rabbits earlier, so there's the hole.
Yeah, the rabbit hole. Have you heard about Brigitte Macron, the First Lady of France?
What happened?
Allegedly, her real name is not Brigitte Macron, and her brother is not real. She is her brother. Kind of like the same stuff with the Michelle Obama type situation, except this one. So I heard this from Candace Owens, and then I started looking into it. I haven't done a deep dive on it yet, but I plan to. But like Candace Owens was saying, I don't believe the Michelle Obama rumors. That's funny, but I don't think it's true. But she said, if you look into this Brigitte Macron lady, I don't know if you can pull up a picture of her, Steve, but apparently she has a brother, and there's no pictures that exist of her and her brother. And she didn't exist before like a couple years ago, and they can't find any school pictures of her. They can't, and they're saying, disprove the claims, because journalists are coming out saying this, and they silence the journalists, they shut it down, and they don't respond to it. It's like, all you have to do is give us a picture of you and your brother.
Right.
And they can't, there's no pictures that exist of her and her brother.
What's her name again?
Brigitte Macron. Brigitte, I think it's pronounced Brigitte, but it's spelled like Bridget. Just put in French First Lady. And then once you see the pictures, you're going to be like, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Macron himself is at the least a cross-dresser. I've got pictures of him in my email. The thing with this, I have to download them, to show them. And I don't want to ruin my, get my computer all full and messed up. So unless it's very important, I don't download anything. But they're out there. I mean, of him, he's in nightclubs dancing, and they're dressed as a woman, and they're dancing with guys and everything. Got that, big old crook. And he don't look anything like a woman.
Yeah.
To me, he don't.
I don't trust anything that comes from France.
Hell no. Particularly not him.
She got a Madam's apple.
Did you find it, Steve?
Yeah, pulling up. Let's see. I just got pictures, but
yeah, that's her, or maybe not her.
Right.
But understand that she. Which one is it supposed to be the woman? Or okay, I got it.
Yeah, that's a wig. That's a man, baby.
That's a man, baby. That's definitely a wig.
Yeah. And so when you look into it, and journalists in France were coming out with this, and they all got silenced. They all got, shut down. The story got shut down.
That's what they do.
Yeah, and it's like, all you have to do is show us you and your brother together. There's no pictures of her and her brother. Right. Her brother disappeared, and then as far as the journalists can find, she just became a person a couple years ago. And there's no school pictures of her. There's no graduation picture or anything like that.
She disappeared overnight.
Yeah. At least that's what the theory is. I haven't really dug deep into it yet, but it is interesting.
Who do you think that president? Well, first George Bush's wife was. Who do you think she really was, or is? Well, was now.
George Bush's first wife.
Yeah, well, the first president's wife. You know, George H.W. Bush.
I don't know. I haven't heard about this.
Well, let's just say she, he, or it is close, very close kin to the guy that came up. I can't think his damn name now, but he's the very evil guy that more or less wrote the Bible for him, for the evil ones. Anyway, let's just say he, she, or it is very close kin to him, and she may not have been a she. I'll put it like that. Huh. So it's hard to talk on here, man. You know, when you want to say something and get the word out, but you have to talk around corners. I hate that.
Yeah. The ladies need to be standing up against this, because what they're saying is men are better at politics, but we need a woman face in politics. So let's just get a man to dress like a woman,
right,
and be the politician. It's like,
I think what it is more than that is they're paying homage to Baphomet.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Some demonic, it's some demonic stuff.
Yeah, all the way around and through.
Yeah.
But I also think that all this is going on now. I think it's going to take God himself to straighten the earth out. I don't think man can do it. And that's what, to me, that's what the eclipse and all is about that's coming up. And who knows? For all we know, April 8th could be Christ's birthday.
I've been seeing about this eclipse. Do you know right about the same time the eclipse is happening that there's two broods of cicadas that are going to emerge at the same time, and it's going to be like 13 billion cicadas all coming out of the ground during the eclipse?
Yes, I have. Really? I have seen that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Steve, cicadas go underground and they burrow, and they go in cycles, and usually they call them broods. Usually one brood will come up, you know, at this point. Some of them go under for 5 years, some of them go under for 8 years. And usually they come up one at a time at different times, but there's two broods that are going to come out at the same time. And this only happens once every like 220 years. So it's going to be like 13 billion cicadas coming up out of the ground during the eclipse. It sounds like some biblical apocalypse stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. In my opinion, I think it's exactly what it is.
Hey, Anunnaki, the one, mahalo and aloha. Good to see you. And thank you.
And the thing is that from the time from Easter, I think it is, or either from the eclipse one, there's 40 days that we have to repent. That's why the eclipse 2017 came one way, and the eclipse of this year is going from the exact opposite direction. One last in 2017 came from the northwest. This one's coming from the southeast. Or the southwest, rather. So, and it's going across all the towns called Nineveh. The first one went across all the towns called Salem. So something is going on that has to do with God. We're going to have to wait and find out what it is, but could get kind of rocky here is what I'm saying in the next couple of months.
But I don't think God is going to save us from to save the world. He'll save his children, right? But like I believe God gave dominion of earth to Satan, and that Satan runs the world, and I don't think God's going to step in. He's going to let us burn ourselves to the ground, and then he's going to take his children with him. But
well, we are his children, though. That's just it. I think that this country is Israel. Period. I mean, that's what I think. We're the Hebrews, not the Jews and all that. We are the Hebrews themselves.
I've heard that Christians are the real Jews because they, how did the Jews deny all the prophecies that were fulfilled with Jesus? Like,
that's a good question. Yeah. How do they do that? I don't know, but I just know that regardless, I think we're God's people. When we came over from England on the Mayflower and all that, that was God's people. And before that, when Israel was defeated in war back in the Old Testament, all those people left and went to Scotland and England. I mean, as many as they could leave, they did. So they went to England and Scotland. And then they came over here. So it's the same thing. So we are God's people. This is Israel. I think Israel was here in this country all along.
Right.
And therefore, that's what the Egyptian stuff found in that cave in the Grand Canyon is all about.
Yeah, I've talked about that too, because somebody told me, well, Israel's only been a nation since the 40s. And I'm like, no, Israel's been a nation since biblical time. For thousands of years, Israel's been a nation, but it's not a place. It's not a borders. It's not a state. It's a group of people who believe and follow the same way. So Israel, God's chosen people is everywhere.
Exactly. And it's not just here in this country. This is the main place for it, God's people. And that's why the Constitution, the original Constitution I'm talking about, was inspired by God. Men wrote it, of course, but it was inspired by God. And it has a lot of biblical references in it and everything. Like, it more or less says that we are God's people.
Mm-hmm.
And we go by God's law. It's what we're supposed to go by, not theirs.
Well, and that's why America is like the last country to fall to this globalist, Marxist, all this mess that is coming from France, and it's taken over Europe now. This ideology is taken over Australia, all the Western countries, and America is going to be the last one to fall. That's why they want to have diversity, and they want to bring in all the cultures. And when I say, like, I'm against that stuff, I'm not against skin colors. I don't care about your skin color, but we have our ways, we have our beliefs in America, and that's what made us great. And they're trying to break that down.
Yeah, they definitely are. But I don't believe this country will fall. I believe it's going to be, a lot of it may be destroyed, and a lot of people hurt in it, which I pray that's wrong. Believe me, I pray that's wrong. But, there's got to be some way to get rid of all these crooks. Now, what is that way? I don't know. But unless it's God doing it, all I know is that in one of President Trump's speeches, and this, believe me, this stuck in my head like flypaper. He said, when I am reelected, I will be your retribution. So, I thought, what reason I bring that up is because God said that he wants to be the one that gets the revenge on these people, and Satan. That revenge is his. But then Trump, in one of his speeches, said, I will be your retribution, which is the same thing as revenge. And my point here is that I thought all along that President Trump was working through God, that he's God's appointed or anointed.
Mm-hmm.
I could very easily be wrong. But that's just my opinion of it. And then when he said that, but I will be your retribution, I thought, wow, something's going on. Plus, there's a video out about Christ. I've always thought of Christ as a dark-haired guy, dark beard, dark hair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one professor saying, no, he was not dark-haired. He had golden hair. Golden hair. So President Trump, he always goes around with his hair golden, I'm just saying that maybe that's because of he knows he's God's anointed. I don't know. I'm guessing here, but I'm just saying,
Yeah. I know the Bible says he had hair like lamb's wool. And that's really all I don't know. When we start trying to get into physical, what Jesus looked like, it gets kind of messy.
I don't know. The only reason I wouldn't put that in, and normally I wouldn't have, but the only reason I would put it in there today was because the eclipse and everything's coming up. Yeah. And I think that God is I think he's the one that's going to have to do whatever is going to be done. Also do.
Well, so I believe that voting is a facade. I think that the powers and the principalities, which are like angels and demons, they assign our leadership. And that's just like a biblical thing. It says the leadership of the world is assigned by the powers and the principalities. And Some of them are angels and some of them are demons. So some of the leaders we get what we deserve. If you got one of the demons running your country, then that's what your country deserves. So when Biden becomes president, we deserved that. Everybody, even those of us who were against it, I guess we didn't do enough to fix it.
Well, I have been asked why, why I think it's okay for Biden to be in this position now. The guy's playing him anyway, and to take all the blame for what's going on. Bad stuff in the world today that he'd taken the blame for it. Well, the reason I think it's okay is because of all the bad stuff that he did while he was still with us. I'll put it like that. All the bad stuff he did was like, it was like he was working for Satan, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't think, as bad as that guy was with kids and everything, why? I mean, how much better of a guy could you find to put everything on top of his head when it's the truth anyway? I mean, he did all these things. So why is it a bad thing? He did them all. And I wouldn't want to take the blame for all these bad things nowadays if I had nothing to do with them, like, President Trump. And believe me, if I found out that and I've been looking too, that President Trump is a bad guy, I will be the first guy to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you I will be. And I hope I never find that. But if he is, I want to find it. And I will put it on as fast as I can. What life? What's up, brother? Good to see you.
What's funny to me is that Biden's over here still saying how everything's better now since he's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? But he says it and means it.
It's better for him because he's the president. He gets to sleep all day and golf and whatever. Well, I don't know if he plays golf. I don't know if he can hit the course like Trump.
Of math he does, but he's like, yeah, it's only like 6%. The economy's only up 6%. And it's like, well, I used to get this for $10 and now it's $20. That's not 6%, bro. I don't know who you're doing your math.
Yeah, I hear liberals saying all the time, the economy's great right now. We're on an upswing. It's doing great under Biden.
That's the whole believe what they want to believe, and even though they know it's not true.
Right. Just ignore everything around you.
Yeah, our economy is great. Everything, our money is doing wonderfully. I mean, everybody in the world is wanting to get rid of a dollar as fast as they can and go over to, the Chinese and Russian back thing. Why do they want to do that? Because our money is going bye-bye. And, it don't matter one way or the other. There's going to be a new monetary system come in. Everybody might as well get ready for that because it's coming in. It could be what I think is going to happen is the CBDC, the Democrats' idea of, new money. I think it's going to come in. And then right behind it, I ain't saying the next day or whatever, but I think that they're going to use the good monetary system and bring it in on the back of that, kind of piggyback on it. It's the way it looks. Whether that's right or not, I'm not saying that's exactly right. This is my thoughts on it. But either way, new money is coming in. See, like I told you, I see.
Yeah, you got a super chat, Steve.
Yep, yeah, 2 of them. Let me see.
Oh, you got another? I didn't see that other one.
Get there's the first one, and there's the second one.
Making all kinds of money today, ain't you? Right on.
You don't do Easter.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Anunnaki the One real quick. Thank you, Mahalo, Anunnaki.
Awesome! Holy moly! That's right, brother.
Nice. That was freaky.
What the heck was that?
Aloha, Mary. Good to see you.
Napoleon Dynamite was in that. That was awesome.
Oh yeah. Hey, Carlton and everybody in there.
All kinds of great folks in that movie. That was a good movie. I got to give it credit. It's good.
Which one?
Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah, it was.
It was one of those where I watched it the first time and I thought this was stupid, but it grows on you.
Yeah.
Like you want to watch it again like a year later and then you crack it up.
Oh, I have. I've watched it 2 or 3 times, maybe more.
I'm pretty good with the bow staff.
That stupid brother of his out there throwing that ball around thinking he's going to become an NFL quarterback or something.
Right. I was just watching this, like, I don't know, not a documentary, but like I was watching this thing about, you know, that movie, and they were saying how the guy that wrote it, like a lot of it's basically the dude that wrote it, like was kind of his like life growing up.
Oh, really?
Like, he just wanted to make a movie about, you know, how I was like kind of the weird guy in school, and you know, so it was kind of a true story, but it wasn't. I mean, just the fact that the dude that wrote it was just kind of a little nerdy and didn't fit in was true, and then the rest of it was just a movie.
Yeah. Van says Taylor Swift was in that movie too. I don't remember seeing her, but
Taylor Swift was in Napoleon Dynamite?
I guess that's what he's talking about.
Huh. Wasn't it a Mormon dude that made Napoleon Dynamite? Maybe.
Dude, development. That's who. That Ronnie and I were talking about that before we went live backstage. That's funny. That I don't know. I haven't seen him since, or heard from him since that day. So
I can't believe somebody come on and be like that, man. You know, if you drunk, you don't need to be on YouTube, in my opinion. I mean, damn.
Don't go to my stream then.
And then to get called out, you got called out on it like multiple times, and then to keep doing it, I don't know. To me, I'd be like, you call me out once, I'd be like, oh shit, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't, you know. He just kept going and going, and then I finally took him off the panel.
Yeah, I do Friday and Saturday late night streams, and everybody's drunk.
Oh God, I couldn't handle it. I just clicked the end stream button if it was me.
I try to rein it in, but it's hard to do.
I had fun last night though on your panel. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a chill one last night. Pretty chill.
I only
well, besides I was freaking out about Floor.
But, yeah, that was crazy.
What's that, Ronnie? You were gonna say something?
I was going to say that I've had a few drunks come in mine, and there's one guy that and I ain't gonna say his name, but he comes in kind of polluted a few times here and there, but he's still pretty much under control. And then he came back in the next night after the first time I knew he was drunk, and he comes back in the next time and he's apologized, you know, because he was drunk. But he wasn't saying anything really bad, you know. It was just stupid, the stuff he was saying.
Yeah,
but now Travis Joe is a good one. More Travis Joe, when he gets to drinking now, he can go off the deep end in a hurry.
Oh, and you can even in chat, you can tell.
Oh yeah,
you can tell if Travis has been drinking or not just from the chat messages. It's like,
absolutely,
oh, right. Travis has been drinking.
It's the liquor though, because I can't get like that off beer.
Dude, me neither.
I just drink beer. I try to.
Yeah, beer.
I think they say a beer is out of your system in an hour. So by the time I've drank 2 beers, if I drink 2 beers over an hour, then you know you never really get drunk. But yeah, if you're drinking liquor, you can lose it pretty quick.
That's why I can't touch liquor. I don't like myself when I drink liquor.
No, me either. I'm a crazy
I
fool idiot when I drink liquor.
Yeah, I'm an asshole. It's like, who is that guy?
You're the asshole.
Yeah,
this guy just didn't fall asleep. You sure do, Creek.
Yeah, that's why I do the snore streams on Friday, because everybody falls asleep during the stream, and we've gotten like 10 different people snoring on the stream. So they'll be asleep snoring, and we're just laughing at them.
Let's see.
Wait, who does it? I know who you're talking about. I just can't think. Or am I thinking of somebody else's? Or no, you're talking about Mad, right?
Mr. Mad?
Yeah, because we've heard him snoring on your streams before.
He's falling asleep. Flora's falling asleep. Buff is pretty much everybody you see on those panels. I could make clips of them snoring.
But I just
except you. I've never seen you pass out in the middle of the stream, Steve. But
me either.
No, I almost did once, but I was like, dude, I'm not doing it. I'm never gonna fall asleep on the live. So
yeah, I don't know
almost
how.
did.
Y'all are crazy if you're falling asleep during the middle of a live. It's crazy.
Well, I just subbed to you, so maybe I can get in on some of these drunk shows some of these times.
Yeah, it's on Discord, and I know Discord's. People don't like Discord because it's complicated, but
yeah, I'm not on. I'm on it, but I've got it, but I've never been on it. Put it like that.
Yeah, and it's hard to get a word in edgewise because everybody's usually just yelling over each other.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I can't handle that.
Yeah, after a while, that gets it starts to get to me like, dude, because then it gets to a point where it's like, what's the point of me even saying anything? Because nobody's listening. They're just waiting their turn to say something. It's like it's pointless.
They're talking right over you while you're whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
You don't know what they don't have any idea what you said.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's like, so what's the point of even saying anything when they're just.
Or then I'll do a stream where I just want to play a video game and review a video and talk about the video that I'm watching. And everybody's like, open the Discord. I'm like, no, I can't. I don't always want to do the Discord. Sometimes I just want to talk about a video or something, but it gets crazy.
Oh, Anunnaki the one. Dang, thank you again.
Say, answer your cue. Because it's an alien claim to my faith. I do know God by his ancient names.
Oh, because I asked, why don't you celebrate Easter? It's an alien claim to my faith. I do know that God by his ancient name, Shar Ashar. Living Waters, you know him as Jesus. I don't know. I haven't heard about that.
Guys, I didn't know that. God's ancient name is Shar Ashar.
You are allowed to moderate to some extent.
But it's alien to all of us. Easter is because Easter, the word came from Ishtar, which is a pagan goddess.
That's
true. What it is. No,
that's not true.
What's not true?
I debunked that thoroughly. Every year for Easter and Christmas and Halloween, I do the Easter is not pagan, Christmas is not pagan. Easter didn't come from Ishtar. Easter is only the American.
You're absolutely wrong. So I'm telling you,
I'm not.
Uh-oh.
I'm not.
Here we go.
I got the folder. I got the folder right here. I got the folder.
Where do you think the name came from?
It has nothing to do with a fertility goddess. Easter in most countries is called Pasa or Pasio. It's for Passover.
Yeah, I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about other countries. I'm talking about here.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Plus, it's not even the right date.
That's an urban legend that they put out to try to destroy Christianity and to destroy our traditions and stuff. That's the whole point of it. That's what they do it for. They're trying to destroy our beliefs and everything. But Ishtar is where the word Easter came from. That's not.
I ain't arguing about it, but I'm telling you, that's where it came from. Y'all check it out and see who's right.
No argument, just debate.
I don't even like debating about God, too much myself, because I just think it's really each person's own, way of looking at it. But I've done many. I've researched that so many times. Everything I've found, it came from Ishtar. That's where the name come from.
I know.
And we don't celebrate on the right day. We don't celebrate Christmas on the right day.
Well, like you said earlier, we have different calendars now. So the days have changed. The day is unimportant. It's just the day we celebrate it. But like dyeing eggs is not pagan. That comes from Lent. That comes from Catholics hardboiling their eggs because they can't eat eggs over Lent. and then they decorate them and they have the feast at the end. The Ishtar thing is an urban legend that they made up to soil the name of Easter. Yeah, all that.
I don't know who you've been looking at, brother, but I'm telling you, you need to look further. That's all I can tell you.
I'm the source. You can watch my Easter is not pagan video from last Monday.
Well, I wish that I could tell you could watch mine from years ago, but that's channel's been gone a long time.
Removed. Yeah.
But no, that one, any holiday that we celebrate now has been messed up by the evil ones. Every one of them. It don't matter what it is. And when you talk about the Catholic Church, and I'm not putting Catholics themselves down, but the popes have what's been really responsible for ruining everything anyway. So if you're looking at the Catholic side of things, you're not going to learn much there. So that's for sure.
So many people believe that it comes from the Germanic deity Eoster, which is a fertility goddess. English name is the exception, right? Everywhere else in the world they call it Pascha or Paseo, which is just Passover.
That's exactly what it ought to be called. Passover.
Yeah.
That's what it should be called, because that's what it is.
Right. But Christians were doing Easter or Passover, whatever you want to call it, way before Ishtar was a thing. And it's more closely related to Eoster, which is Germanic, but we were doing it before the Germanic. Germanic is English and German when they came together. We were doing Easter before that happened, before Eoster was a thing. And before Ishtar was a thing. Pascua de Resurrection.
Well, what I'm saying is this is the name that the crooks have given it, because they're trying to confuse us, lead us in the right direction in everything they do. They don't want us to know anything about anything. But when you say Easter, in my opinion, you're saying Ishtar. It's just another way of saying Ishtar. Plus, you got the rabbit. A rabbit don't lay eggs, last I heard. And a rabbit is known for producing. It's a fertility right, is what it is. That's all it is.
Yeah, the rabbit is the best argument you got. The rabbit.
I think I got a good argument all the way around, brother.
Yeah, but that's called an association fallacy. So it's like if I said somebody really bad, let's say the Austrian guy that did that bad thing in Germany. If I said he drank water, do you drink water? So you must be an N-word, that I don't want not. You get what I'm saying? Like,
no,
I do. I'm trying not to get your Himmler, that guy, that German guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about there.
He drank water.
Show me your papers.
Yeah, that does. So just because lots of cultures had bunnies as symbols because they're fertile, they make a lot of babies. We eat them. So a lot of people have rabbit symbolism in their cultures. That doesn't mean that just because we have a rabbit in ours that we're pagan.
No, we're not pagan. I'm saying that the way they've got it set up is pagan.
Yeah,
we're not pagan.
Halloween.
We don't. If we knew the true day, if this all happened, we could do it. We don't know the true day because everything's been messed with so much. They've changed the names. They give us all these fake holidays and everything to, to celebrate or whatever. And the days aren't right at all. For one, that's one thing.
But that's unimportant.
What messes me up is everyone still because when I was a teenager, everyone still thinks I'm a Nazi because I got this huge swastika tattooed on my back. I don't know why.
No, that's different.
No, I really don't.
He said it, so now I guess I could say it. Just because Nazis drank water, if we drink water, it doesn't mean that we're Nazis. It's just because pagans had bunny rabbits, other cultures had bunny rabbits as symbols. It's not.
Why in the world, Joe, though, would you ever associate a rabbit with Easter? It's because of the fertility thing. Jesus had nothing to do with fertility. He came to preach the word of God. and to add to it. You know, he was there to teach us and to die for our sins.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything to do with having a lot of sex or anything with anybody. He was there for those things, nothing else. But yet they've added the rabbit in and the eggs.
The eggs is not the eggs. There's nothing pagan about that. Nobody thinks the rabbit laid the eggs. The eggs comes from Passover and Lent. The Catholics.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they use it as that's the evil ones put it in as, you know, it's their way of saying, hey, look at these guys and what they're celebrating is totally stupid. You know, let's
like Halloween.
A really stupid thing.
Halloween, we dress up in scary costumes and people like worship witches and seances and spooky stuff. But that's all capitalism in America. The true origins of Halloween are Catholic. That's All Hallows Eve. That's when Jesus came. The Hallows, who were in purgatory, get to rise up. All Saints Day, All Hallows Eve. So Halloween is a Christian holiday. But there's, I guess, capitalism. They've turned it into a money-making holiday. And now it's a day of degeneracy. But that's not the true origins of Halloween.
Well, I don't know. Anybody can think what they want to about Halloween, but to me, if they took Halloween completely away and threw the word away, it'd be fine with me. Because as far as I'm a Christian,
All Hallows Eve,
because that's the day that the evil one. Halloween is the longest night of the year.
Halloween
and they
All Hallows
wait
Eve.
a minute.
Okay,
I know. And they use all that stuff though that's what they do on Halloween night. That's when they do their main, how can I say this? Their main kid, that too, but their main kid grabbing things.
Yeah.
That's when they do it.
But that's
because that's their holy night.
But that's not the meaning of Halloween. That's been perverted over time.
That's what I'm saying. I want no part of it. You know, that's why I don't go to church anymore, because I don't want to have my mind polluted by a preacher that's really kind of in the middle, you know, or even not in the middle, but over to the wrong side too much.
But so
I don't trust them.
Let's say we renamed Easter Pascha or Passover or whatever you want to call it, and what am I trying to say? I think we should fight for our traditions and our holidays. And keep them in their traditional. So like Easter, Christmas, Halloween, these are all Christian holidays. We need to keep them Christian and know about the true meaning of the day and what we're celebrating and all that stuff.
And put it on the right day, and then I'll be happy with it. But
we don't know the right day.
Well, it definitely wasn't December 25th for.
I've heard some good arguments that it could have been Jesus might have been born around December, around the winter solstice, around that time.
Well, you should have asked whoever was doing the argument on that, how the three wise men came when they came to see Jesus, and the shepherds were out in the field protecting their flocks and everything. They're not out in the field in the wintertime, number one. And number two, they were
in the Middle East. They are.
Their sheep were giving birth and everything.
It's not snowing in the Middle East.
It has snowed in the Middle East.
Yeah, but it's not where they were at. It was a decent night at that time of the year. And also,
they didn't just go across one place, though. I mean, they were on the road for a long time.
But all the inns were closed. Why were all the inns closed? Because it was feast time. It was celebration time.
Well, I don't know. I'm just telling you about I wasn't there. I mean,
right. Well, that's what I'm saying is we don't know the exact day, and the exact day
Ronnie,
isn't really.
I thought you were there.
Yeah, you're old as dirt, Ronnie.
Well, that was just a little bit before my time, though. I mean, I was around for right after that, but not at that time.
I get the stuff you're saying, but I don't think the day is that important. The exact day.
Well, I do. It's like we worship. We're supposed to worship on Sunday. Sunday is not the original day of worship. It's Saturday.
Saturday and Sunday both didn't exist. All those days are named after Greek gods. Thor's Day and
exactly.
I think the Sabbath day could be any day of the week. You just rest one day of the week.
Well, it's the Saturday though. God didn't know. The point is to me is it was named Sunday because they wanted us to. What their way of looking at it is,
it's sun worship.
Evil ones. Yes.
Yeah.
Right there. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Thursday is from Thor. They're all named after like Greek gods and stuff.
Saturday because you just sat around all day.
That is a good reason to do it on Saturday. But yeah, when
retirement though, you just do it 7 days a week. You just
when
retire.
God the Sabbath comes from God resting on the seventh day. But when God created the earth in 7 days, there wasn't Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I know that. But
those are just,
the point is, you got to. That's what I'm saying. You got to find the original dates, and they are in the Bible. It takes somebody smarter than me to find them, that's for sure. But they're there, and they perverted these dates. Why did they pervert the dates if there's nothing to it? They have perverted the dates of Christmas, Easter, you name it. If it's got anything to do with God and to throw us off the trail, they have perverted it. Everything. It don't make any difference what it is.
Yeah.
It's been purely perverted.
I get what you're saying. If anybody from my chat is in here, they know I get like hype about this. I'm like, pagan. Easter is not pagan. Christmas is not pagan. Halloween is not pagan. I'm like, go to war over this.
No, I ain't saying it's pagan. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they mess with the dates.
Yeah,
they put everything
that's
on the wrong
true.
dates.
The dates are not exact.
Well, see, like Raising King says, just choose a date. But I do that every day, though.
I've heard arguments that Jesus might have been conceived around Christmas, and then I've heard arguments that he could have been born around Christmas. Then I've heard other arguments that say he was born in like April or something.
That's when it was.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they have April Fools. Why you have April Fool's Day? Because that's the day Christ was born. That's why they have April Fool's Day. We're the fools.
You think he was born on April 1st?
That's what I think, yeah.
That's tomorrow, isn't it? I just really, tomorrow's April. Yeah. Tomorrow's April 1st.
That's exactly what I think.
This is all assuming Jesus existed to begin with. There's plenty of evidence that Jesus existed. No, not even the strongest atheist historian would say that Jesus never existed. You can say he didn't resurrect. You can make an argument for that, but to say Jesus never existed is kind of out there.
Oh, I know he did. Jesus used to live right down the street from me, bro.
The Bible is one very interesting subject, guys, and that's for sure. And that's one reason
the Bible doesn't tell us the date that Jesus was born. It tells us you can use clues. You can say, well, the inn was full. When is the inn full? During feast time, during winter solstice, during the harvest feast. That's why the inns were full. And so that's why they say maybe, and then the weather thing that you made, the weather at that time of the year in that area is not that cold.
Well,
they wouldn't
have Coro. I don't mean to cut you guys off, but El Coro, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. It's been a minute.
What's up, El Coro?
Good day, mate.
Eastern heathens. No, that's a lie. I don't believe it. And the Ishtar thing is debunked. I didn't debunk it, but it's been debunked.
The what thing?
The Ishtar thing. It's closer to Eoster and not Ishtar. That's the meme that people made on Facebook. Because I've seen that.
You're not getting what I'm saying. I don't guess. I'm saying that they changed the name. They got the name of Easter over here. Our evil guys did. They got the name of Easter and changed it to Ishtar. I mean Ishtar and changed it to Easter. They're trying. Right. They're deceiving us. Is what they're doing.
Well, what I'm saying is that's a rumor that people made up to try to disavow Christianity and Easter. So to try to get Christians to stop celebrating Easter, they start calling it pagan and saying it's based off Ishtar. It has nothing to do with Ishtar. It's more closely related to Eoster, which is Germanic. Ishtar is another culture's thing and they're totally unrelated. And it's not even
Germanic tribes are also pagan. So,
right,
pagan too. So
right, that's why the Easter thing is what some people will say. But we had Easter before they did that. Before the Germanic, the English and the German made the Germanic tribes and stuff, we were already doing Passover. We just didn't call it Easter yet. So,
well, if we call it Passover, believe me, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But as long as
and only America calls
the
it
bunny
Easter.
and the eggs and shit, no.
Is it only America calls it Easter? Or real quick, Dr. Clown, aloha. But I didn't know that only America calls it Easter.
Yeah, in Italy it's La Passio, and then there's Passa and there's Pascha. They usually just call it, and then I guess now they call it Holy Week in a lot of places. But
the point is, though, that Jesus Christ did go on the cross. He did die. He came back. He died for our sins. That's the most important thing. The other part that we're talking about is kind of around the edges, you know. But to me, and this is just me, I'm not trying to tell anybody else how to live their lives, nothing else. I'm just saying that for me, as long as it's named Easter, and they got I definitely want to celebrate Christ's birthday, his resurrection, all of that. I definitely believe in that. Right. But I'm just saying, for these evil guys, they want to do everything that they can to dissuade us from doing anything. And if we do it for Christ, then it's got to be on a different day. That's because they're trying to mess us all up. That's what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't agree, but
no, it's cool.
But I do know your best, the bunny thing, and I said this when I was talking about it. I said the bunny thing is the closest to the bunnies. I kind of can see where the fertility and all that, I can see where that's a little questionable. But the eggs, the coloring of the eggs, that's Catholic. That's
exactly what I'm saying. It's Catholic.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of the Catholics. I got arguments with the Catholic doctrine and stuff, but they did a lot for Christianity and spreading it. And
they spread their brand of it. And here's what gets me about them. The main thing is that the Pope is supposed to be the leader of all Christians on earth. And he's supposed to be Christ Vicar, all right, or Vicar, however you want to say that word.
Vicar.
He's anything, in my opinion, besides Christ, Vicar, or whatever. Hey, anything. I mean, all the stuff that they, not only this guy, Pope, but the ones in the past have put out, and take a look inside of his main little place there. It's him standing right in the snake of the mouth of the snake. I guess it's in the Vatican. I don't know where it's at, but there is a picture of him out there, a picture where he's standing in the mouth of the snake, giving us, his homily or whatever they call it. What they're saying is, we're acting like we're Christ, but in reality, we're Satan. And I'm not knocking the people that are Catholic. My daughter and son-in-law and all of them are Catholics. I'm not knocking the people. I am saying that what they have been teaching people is absolutely wrong.
Somebody said F Easter eggs. Look at this beautiful egg with a cross on it.
But it comes down to what's in your heart. That's what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. 100%.
Yeah. I think if I don't know, if you're celebrating Easter and you're celebrating the resurrection, I don't have a problem with that. Okay, that is a beautiful egg. The egg painting comes from Lent. They couldn't eat eggs, so they would hard boil them and they would decorate them during Lent. And then at the end, they would have a feast and they would eat their decorated eggs.
And then they'd fart and be nasty as hell because it stinky as hell.
Yes. But
interesting conversation, though. I thought it was.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I like being able to have disagreements with somebody and not turn into F you and F you're an idiot, shut up, and just yelling. That's what.
I have to give me a little whiskey next time.
Yeah.
Like Jason did a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Why am I an idiot? Because you're an idiot. Explain that. That's not
Well, there's going to come a
that's not
time where all
debate.
will find out exactly what all this is about, and whether believing the wrong thing matters. And to me, I believe it does, and that's what they have been trying to do ever since the Garden of Eden. And you said a while ago that God handed the earth over to Satan. He didn't really hand it over to him. It was Adam and Eve that did that when they did their deed in the garden.
Yeah.
And they more or less gave the devil the charge.
Right. They followed Satan, and then God was just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let. And now he just watches, but yeah,
I think he's going to take it all back though, and I think that's what the Eclipse is coming up is about. That's just my thoughts. Now I'm just saying,
Well, I hope you're right. I think you're more optimistic than me.
Well, I'm definitely optimistic when it comes to God, and I don't think that I just don't believe that he's going to let Satan wipe it. He ain't saying there's going to be a bunch of people hurt and killed, and whatever happens. But I am saying that I don't think God is going to let his people be wiped out, because then there would be no one here to preach, tell his word, tell about him or anything else. And the earth does belong to him. It's like Satan is a squatter. That's basically what it is.
But if, let's say God brought down a pillar of fire and wiped out the world right now, wouldn't that be God showing love and mercy? Because all of his children, not Satan's children, because we're not all God's children. Floor said that in the chat, but God said, or the Bible says that some people are children of Satan, and God hates sin, and so we're not all God's children, in my opinion.
No.
But if God brought down a pillar of fire and wiped out the whole world right now, that would be a blessing to his children, because we would not have to live here anymore, and we could go be with him.
You may have a point there. I don't know. I wouldn't argue that one way or the other.
Yeah.
I just think that that the people that aren't his children are the very ones that are doing everything we've been talking about. Yeah. They're the leaders of our countries. Everyone. I mean, here, Israel, you name it. They've all been corrupt. But I think all that's coming to an end, and I think that's why a lot of people may be injured and all this kind of good stuff. And there's going to be a lot of destruction. I ain't saying it will be. I hope there ain't nothing. I hope nobody even skins a knuckle, but I think something's going to happen. But whatever happens, God is going to take the earth back. I think that's what's going on right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Revelation is a tough read, and it's I don't know, kind of.
I agree with that. No doubt. It is tough.
But yeah, it says now is just the beginning of sorrows. And that, yeah, I don't know. I think the world's just going to get wiped out at some point. Something's going to happen, whether it be nuclear winter, the sun explodes, meteor becoming crash into us, something.
I would say meteor. Yeah.
Yeah, but pretty much fire and brimstone is going to wipe out this whole planet. And those of us, it's going to be a blessing. We might die, or we might drop our bodies, but once you're born again, you don't die, right? You just drop your body, and then it's a blessing to you. Hopefully it's fast.
That's the way it's supposed to be. But then, who knows, man? I mean, having the world wiped out, and it will be at some point. I mean, that's exactly what God intends to do at some point.
Do you
there
think
will be a new the old earth will go away, and there will be a new heaven and a new earth?
Do you believe in the rapture?
No,
me neither. That all the Christians are just going to disappear one day, and that the world's just going to be I don't.
No, I can't wrap my head around that one. I've been trying for years, and I just can't get there.
Well, rapture is not in the Bible. That word's
not
in there. And it says there's a catching up. And I think people took it too literally. And then the Left Behind books made it seem like all the Christians are just going to disappear one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's going to be like that.
Yeah, and I read many of those Left Behind books. I mean, many of them.
I think I only read the first two.
It wasn't, but that farther it went along, the worse the books got. So,
oh yeah,
it literally was. That's why I quit reading. They got to where they didn't make a lick of sense. At least not to me.
Yeah, I think I only read like 2 of them, but the first one was pretty good. But I don't think that's the way it's going to be.
No, I don't either. Definitely don't. I don't. Can't say as I know how it's going to be, but I don't think it's going to be like that.
Yeah.
But however it is, we all will be judged one day, and that's, to me, that's what this eclipse is about: judgment and forgiveness. Judgment and forgiveness. That's what I think. And part of because in this country, I think we're part, good. In other words, we are Israel, and the second part is Babylon. And I'm talking about in this country right here. That's why the X is being made in this country, not in Russia or China or anywhere else. Because to me, this is my belief that God put his people here. And he if he wants the whole world to go, we'll definitely go. No doubt about it. But we'll have to see, how it all works out.
Yep. Just sit back, strap yourself in, and watch the show.
Oh, we're going to find out. All right.
We sure will. Can you imagine what it'd be like standing before God though on Judgment Day? So, I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry. It's too late now, son. You should have done this years ago.
Yep. Yeah. I live in Utah, and the Mormons, they believe in what's called posthumous baptism, which means after you die, if you didn't decide to convert to Mormonism, after you die, they could baptize your soul. And so you have another chance to get into heaven after you die.
That's kind of hard for me to believe there, because that's why one reason why we're here in these bodies now. And, it's a test.
Yeah. I'm not a Mormon, but I just am interested in learning about it because I live here. And yeah, I'm like, what's up with this stuff? They got in some hot water because they collect DNA. The Mormon Church, Ancestry.com, 23andMe, all that stuff was started by the Mormon Church because they want to collect DNA on everybody who's ever existed so they can posthumously baptize. It means after dead baptism, for the whole history of the world. That's one of their goals. And wow,
I never heard that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they got in hot water because they posthumously baptized Anne Frank. And so the Jewish community was like, hold on. She died as a martyr for her Jewish faith. And you think that you can take her DNA and baptize her into Mormonism after she's dead? And
yeah, isn't that kind of like playing God, deciding that you're going to baptize someone after they're gone?
Yeah. And they're like, well, it doesn't force them to become Mormons after they're dead. It gives their soul an option. And it's like, they already had the option while they were living,
Right.
That's right. And that's what it's all supposed to be about. In my opinion, if you don't do it, if you don't get baptized while you're alive and in your body, well, then it might be just a tad too late, after you're dead. And that's definitely what I believe.
Yep.
And I definitely don't believe in no rapture either, but, and as far as I can understand, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, Jess, if you know, it's there was some little old woman here 100 years ago or whatever. I think her name was White, that first used the word rapture. And that's where it all came from, supposedly. I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying that's what I've heard.
I don't know. I haven't heard that. But first time I heard of the rapture stuff being popularized was the Left Behind books. I know they really popularized that idea. But I'm sure the word is older than that.
Oh, yeah. It's much, much older.
The word.
It's been around ever since I was a kid.
The Hebrew word is like, I always forget it, but it's like Horatio, or it starts with an H, Horace, or something like that, and it means catching up. But it's a metaphor. It's talking about how a farmer goes out with a scythe and he harvests the wheat or whatever, and it's called a catching up. That's the word they use. And people took that super literally to mean that God is just going to pull us all up to heaven.
Yeah, and all that was is separating the wheat from the
Harpazo.
chaff.
Raising Cain got it. Harpazo. That's the word. I always forget it, but that's the Hebrew word for catching up or to catch up. And that's where they get rapture from, is that. Because a rapture is also like if a farmer's going out harvesting the grain, he's doing a rapture.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's where it came, because they're separating wheat from the chaff, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it came from.
And that's like the metaphor is all like the farmer in his field, or Jesus is the shepherd. It's always metaphors. And
yeah. I tell you what, the Bible is about one of the deepest subjects a person can get into, you know, because I guarantee you, I can read one verse and take it one way. Another person can read that same verse, take another, and so on down the line, you know, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's one of the ways that God figures out, you know, who really loves him and who don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody, that's with anything too. Everybody analyzes or interprets what they read in their own way. So
yes,
that's why the Catholic and the Orthodox Church, they have what's called apostolic succession, which basically they both say that they have a history of people. And so basically the church decides how to translate or how to understand the Bible, because if you and I both read the same verse and we come to different conclusions, we need somebody to tell us the right way. And I don't agree with that.
Well, me neither, because that's somebody that's going to tell you the right way. Who's to say that?
Right. Who says, you know,
read it different?
And then the Orthodox Church will say they're the one true church and they have the apostolic succession. But then the Catholic Church says the same thing and they disagree. How do I know which one's how about we just read it for ourselves and let the Holy Spirit teach us?
Exactly. That's exactly what I think everyone ought to do. Because when you don't know, you go to one church and they're teaching the Bible one way, that pastor will. Another pastor teaches another way. And it may just be a little bit of difference in there, but that little bit of difference may cost you your trip to heaven.
Yep.
You know, so like I said, that's why I don't go to church anymore, because when they passed this new law, the 501c3 law, where the churches, if they would join, didn't have to pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they did that, though, that put the churches under the government. The church is not supposed to be under the government of any country. I mean, it's supposed to be there to teach the people. They're not supposed to be accepting money in any way from the government. That's why you're supposed to be able to give, you know, in church, and whatever you give is what is, and I'm talking about the parishioners of that church. That's what keeps the pastor and everything going, the church going.
Yeah. Well, that's like a lot of people mistake the meaning of establishment clause or the First Amendment of freedom of religion or separation of church and state or whatever. That doesn't mean the church can't get involved in the government. That means the government shouldn't be getting involved in the church.
It means the church shouldn't let them get involved in it. They didn't have to. To me, that's the point, because anytime it's like, and I didn't think about this a long time ago either, but I am now. And of course, I'm on Social Security. I put myself under the government when I accepted that money from them. I put myself under the government. That's what I did. The preachers do the same thing when they accept the money from the government, you know, because they don't want to pay taxes.
Yep.
Well, you're not supposed to. I mean, make it on your own. The church fails. That's all there is to it. You should never let the government in there.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Well, you shouldn't have to pay taxes either. So
no, you shouldn't. No one should, period.
Exactly. That's what I mean. No one should have to pay taxes either.
No taxes? I'm okay with some taxes. You're not okay with any taxes?
Well, taxes, I think we ought to be able to have to pay. So, like if you go buy a new car, a new home, or anything new, you know, that should be what you have to pay taxes on. But if it's used, because the point, if it's like if I bought a used car,
the taxes were already paid on it.
Well, that and the fact that that car in most cases is not guaranteed. So if you buy it, you know, and it tears up, well, it's on you. So it's a.
I'm all right with paying some taxes. I just want receipts, and I want to know that it's going for stuff to help our country, help things that we need.
On some taxes, yeah, but that's how it originally started, and now it's you're taxed on everything,
right?
Literally everything.
Your income
Your
is
paycheck
taxed,
is
and then when you spend your income to buy stuff, you're taxed, and
Every
I don't like
dollar you spend.
I don't like all that, and I don't like not knowing where our tax money is going and what we're paying for and what our government's doing with it. But I'm okay with taxes to a certain extent for certain things.
Yeah, we have to have taxes to pay for
the roads and the defenses
stuff like that.
And yeah,
you have to have them, but they don't have to tax
defend the border, have a military that defends our oceans and stuff, fix the roads. That's about it.
And that's what I meant earlier by those are the same people that are giving us credit scores. And the reason that they're taxing literally everything now is because they're so horrible with money that they're $1 trillion in debts. And their only idea is we'll just keep taxing the shit out of everybody.
And that's what they do. And I just one more little nugget on this. And our taxes, literally, the gigantic portion of them anyway, don't even pay for what's going on, like the roads and bridges and all that stuff. That's not what they're used for. I'll just tell y'all to do some digging on that because
it's obviously not being used on bridges.
No, it ain't been used on anything. It never has been. It's been sent straight to another person, over
a boat will tap a bridge, the whole bridge is going down.
Y'all are missing the point. I'm saying about
no, I'm just joking. I get what you're saying though.
But they send all our taxes to the lady that passed here a while back that happened to come from England. And that's where they were going. I'm saying. But now
they're
I don't
going
think so.
Everywhere but here, put it that way.
Yeah. No shit.
You got homeless veterans that put their lives on the line for this country, and then their thank you is fuck off.
Yeah, and another thing even worse, or as bad as the taxes is, that everything keeps going up in price. So that when you add the taxes and the inflation, as they call it, well, of course you're going to have inflation because the money's not backed by anything. That's why you have inflation. So if you back it with gold, silver, platinum, and all that kind of good stuff, it retains the money retains its quality,
Yeah.
But as long as they're doing it like this, no. I mean, the people of this country are what backs the dollar. We are the collateral.
Yep.
And it's all there is to it. And I got a video that I'm going to show here pretty soon that explains how to check out your birth certificate and all that to see how much money you're owed, because a birth certificate is really just a bond. That's what it is. And that's how they can, well, I can't say anymore.
Right. Yeah. But there's no consent. You're just born. You can't make any choice, but you're automatically bonded just for being born without even making the decision.
Now, I said social security numbers were the mark of the beast because it says it'll be a number for your name. And if you want to buy or sell or do any sort of trade, you're going to have it. And we all had a number for our name before we ever even knew our own names. Before you knew your own name, the government had a number for you. And
that's true.
If you were born in a hospital, there's no way to avoid. The only way to avoid that is go live in the woods. And totally cut off from society. But yeah, and then if the kid gets older, if they want to be part of society, they got to go get that number.
Yeah, and when we're born and our mama signs our birth certificate, of course, no one knew this, and probably don't still today. At least the majority of people don't know it. But when your mom signs that birth certificate, she is literally more or less saying you were born dead, because what they do is they take that and then they build another straw man, as it's called over here. And that straw man is where what I'm saying is we're traded around stock market. We're traded everywhere. We don't even know it. That's why our birth certificates will be worth so dang much money.
And starting a business now is like making a new person.
Yeah. The DBA. Yep.
Yeah. You can pretty much. I used to know this guy, one of my bosses that I worked with, and he's like, yeah, all I do is I start a business. I get a credit line because even though my credit is horrible, every business that I start is a new person, basically. And you can get a credit line. And he's telling me all this illegal stuff he was doing. And anyway, I think he's in Mexico now. but
you may ought to stay down there, huh?
Yeah, I think he left America because they were coming for him. But yeah, he's telling me like a business is like a new person. It's almost like they give, when you start a business, you get a number for your business. It's just like a social security number on a new person.
That's exactly what's going on.
I never even thought of it that way, but that's so true.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they've been doing ever since, what was it, 1933, or maybe, I think it was 33 when they started issuing the birth certificates. That's what they've been doing. They've just been figuring out every way in the world to rob money from us, and to keep on robbing us, through taxes and everything. They want to take God out of our lives, and that's what they've been doing to the best of their ability. Anyway, that's why during COVID, they didn't want to, churches were all closed. If you went to church, there were people in Mississippi that were crazy. They wanted to go to church so bad, they literally sat out in their cars and listened to the preacher over the internet, and the cops wouldn't even put up with that. They came and arrested them for sitting outside the church and listening.
And if anybody's going to stand up against that crap, you would think it would be the churches and and a lot of them did. A lot of them did stand up against it, but a lot of them went along with it because if you didn't, the government's going to shut off your money because they're like you said, with the tax stuff, they're working with the government. Now you're subject to the government. Church is supposed to be subject to God, not the government.
That's exactly what I was saying a while ago. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
which leads down to the question, how free are we really? Is it land of the free, home of the brave, or is it land of the fee, home of the slave?
That's it. That's it right there, Steve. The second one.
I'm getting pushed farther and farther authoritarian, and like I'm getting to the point, I guess it's reactionary when I'm seeing what's happening in the world, but it's almost like I don't believe in rights anymore. Or there's right and wrong, but we don't have no rights, and I don't even know if we should have. What is a right? Like, I don't know.
Our rights were given to us by God, and they just need to step back out the damn way and let us.
That's exactly.
No murder or anything like that. But as far as anything else goes, I mean, if you're out there trying to hurt somebody, that's a whole nother story. Now, you maybe ought to be unalived.
Yeah,
but everything else,
no victim, no crime.
Yeah, exactly. Because God wanted us to live free. He didn't want us to come in here and have to pay taxes and this. If you're not living free, you're not really living. Of course, this is the only kind of life we've ever lived, system we've ever lived under. So we can't tell what the true freedom part would be like. I would love to see it though.
But like freedom of speech, I think there's a lot of speech that we should not allow. And, and then other people will say the same thing. They don't think things I should say should be allowed, but I don't think things they say and do should be allowed. I don't know. I think God wiped out civilizations. It wasn't freedom of freedom to do what you want.
That's right. And he wanted to wipe out all the Hebrews when they came out of Egypt, because several times for different things. But one of them was when Moses went up into the mountain to talk to God and get the 10 Commandments. Or they thought he'd been up there too long. He'd been up there 40 days. So what do? They take all the gold they got when they left Egypt, melted it down, and made their own god. Mm-hmm. The same god they had in Egypt, a golden bull.
Yep. And you know what? Moses melted that down and put it in the water and fed it to them. They drank
broke it into tiny pieces and chunked it in there, and then they drank.
They drank the gold of their idol. That's crazy.
I mean, if you think about it, when everyone in chat, us on the panel, everybody, you break at least one or two laws just leaving your house every day and not even knowing it, because they've made so many laws. It's just ridiculous. You're breaking the law constantly. So, but then again, you're not, because who is someone, like we were saying earlier, who are you to say if it's right or wrong, or
Yep.
Like you were saying with you both read the same thing and you both have a different outcome, and then you need a third person to come in and tell you what it really means. Well, who's that third person? Just like who's the third person to say, like, you didn't have to wear a seatbelt for the longest time. Then all of a sudden it was, well, if you don't wear one, we're going to fine you for it and give you a ticket. You're going to have to give us money because you didn't do what we said. Who are you to say that? You know what I mean? Just doesn't make sense.
Well, it's kind of like speeding, if you're out on the highway or something, and let's say you got a long stretch of road there, you see as far as I can see, and the speed limit's 65, and you're going to go 85, and they give you a ticket for speeding. As long as you're driving right and all that, to me, I mean, you can get killed as easily at 65 as you can at 100.
Yep.
If you can't drive, you're going. I'm not saying I want to see a bunch of people out there driving it fast now. I'm just saying that's an example, of how they control us today.
Yep.
Through
tickets and crap like that.
Yep. What's even worse is that's where the tyranny comes in, because I just did a short the other day on this, because I was driving and a pack of motorcycle cops, and I was already going over the speed limit. So when I seen them all coming up and I seen they were in a group, I was like, oh, okay, they don't pull people over like that. But I was doing like 10, 15 over, and they flew by me like, won't. Like, so they had to have been going at least 90. And then 2 miles up the road, they're on the side radaring people, pulling them over for going 5 over. It's like, you just flew by me going 90, and now you're going to give people a ticket for going 5 over? Like,
rules for the, not for me.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to go, guys. I got to jump out.
Hey, whatever, dude.
Ain't nobody drunk here today, and he's leaving.
No, I got to get ready for work and stuff, but I'm going to keep watching.
We're pushing 3 hours anyway, so
I know you usually do like 2 or 3 hours, so I figured it was close.
Oh, it was a very interesting conversation today. Thank you.
Thank you for coming up, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'll do a little plug for the chat. JS Urban Adventures. Monday night is like a news show. Friday and Saturday is drunken panels, and then the rest of the week I play video games and react.
Well, now, do you have to be drunk to come on?
You don't have to be drunk, but it'd be better if you were. You're gonna have
Saturday ones. I never miss the Saturday ones because they're always fun.
If you're not drunk, you're gonna be like, "What is this mess?"
Right.
But yeah, God bless everybody. Happy Easter. Thanks for having me on.
No, thank you, brother. Much love, much aloha, man.
All right, see you guys.
Take care. That leaves the two of us once again.
Just the two of us.
You and I. You gonna sing for us now, Steve?
Oh, hell.
Just thought I'd ask.
It's funny. I still love music, and I still watch the karaoke channels and all that. But I think I did that for like a little over a year that I did it so much that I don't even want to sing anymore.
Well, I didn't really want to sing then, and I really don't now.
That,
I stopped by Deb's the other night Friday night after I'd done my show, just say hi and give her a little love, give her a thumbs up. And she said, "Well, come on up." I said, "No, not tonight." But no,
right.
Sometimes, it's if I'm in the mood for it, that's one thing. But most time I ain't in the mood for it. It's not that I'm in the mood for singing. It's just that, I like to listen to music. I'm not a singer.
Yeah, me too. I'm the same. That's like, I'll still go on Creeks on his Wednesday night karaoke chat and show. And last 6-7 times I didn't sing. So I just came for the chat and chill part, man. I didn't come for the karaoke part. Well, I came for the karaoke part, but not for me. Not for me to do karaoke.
Yeah, I drop in on Creek every once in a while too. But you know, that thing, he's always wanting me to come up there and sing too. But I think it's because people just get a kick out of, you know, when I sing or sang, everybody probably kicking back there going, hee, boy, that guy sounds awful. Which I do, you know. Hey,
no, honestly, Ronnie, I'm being dead serious when I say this. You have the perfect voice. So like when you do country music, you really do have a good voice. I'm not making that up or just saying that, you know what I mean? I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You have that perfect voice for country music.
Well, I appreciate that, but to me, I sound like a dying. I don't know, dying something. I just don't know what it is that's dying. What's up, Buff? Good to see you, brother. Glad you stopped in. Well, and you can sing, Buff, anytime you want to. We'll listen. It might hurt our ears, but we'll listen.
What's up, Blue Jay Outpost? Aloha.
Now, see, with someone like LSP now, it's easier for me to believe him because of what he said that one night. I'll never forget that, man. He said, I don't remember exactly how he put it, but he meant I sounded awful. What he said was I need to take whatever money I had and go take singing lessons. He was absolutely right. I'll never forget that. That was funny as hell.
I've always known I sucked. I don't care. I enjoy, you know.
You the one that's improved so much, if you ask me, Steve, from when we first got the nerve to sing, you know. Boy, we were both awful back that first time, I'm telling you.
Right. I need to go back and watch some of those because I remember that. We were like, I would get excited when, like, within 15 minutes after we started the live, that it would already be a full panel. Because then I'm like, okay, I don't have to worry about singing because we got enough people here.
Well, I heard that. Well, thank you, Miss Cheryl. Catch the comment.
Because seriously, you do. I really believe that. And I think a lot of other people, I'm pretty sure I've heard other people say the same thing, that you got the perfect voice.
I got the perfect voice not to be singing. You know, that to me, that's what it is. It probably hurts people's ears just to hear me talk, you know, but hey. And hello, Miss Minder Sue. Welcome, girl. Good to see you.
It's aloha.
One of these days, I'm going to break down one and sing one just for Buff. It's going to be the most awful song you could ever think of. Just kidding you, Buff.
It's a beautiful world. Yeah, that graspy voice is hard to do that.
Steve, what's the Ronnie? You don't. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I misread it there at first, Steve-O. Thank you, Steve-O. I love that song.
I thought it was saying "Don't Cry" like the Guns N' Roses version. "Don't Cry." I was like, what? I never heard Ronnie do "Don't You Cry Tonight," but I didn't read the whole thing. So "Don't Cry."
I ain't
Daddy.
never done that one. No, but "Don't Cry Daddy" by Elvis I think it's a beautiful song though. And not just the words, either it's the way he sings it, you know. I just think it's great. I think so, El Coro. It looks like it.
Okay. Hit it, Steve, and 2 and a 3 and a 4. Hey, it's good to see you, El Coro, man. I haven't seen you in a while. That's awesome.
It is.
Coro's a cool guy. My brother from down under. That and Rank. Where the hell's Rank? The Ranks been? Rank 1 and Rank 2. I haven't seen them in a long time.
Good question. That's like Landon and Tiff. They more or less come up missing there for a month or two, and Hoot Owl Holler.
Hoot Owl. What's his name? Finding Keno. Where's Finding Keno?
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't heard. I'd forgotten all about Finding Keno. I hadn't seen nor. And man, he was a great mod.
Absolutely. That guy's cool, and I hung out with him backstage a few times. That guy is, I mean, just so fucking cool, man. I love that dude.
I was never backstage or anything with him, but I know he's a darn good guy. I recorded myself singing "A Beautiful World" sent to my sister. Yeah. I bet it was. No, Buff, you might be the best singer in the world. I don't know. You might take my place someday. Of course, has seen Rink at a car stream. I did impromptu. Well, tell him to come on. Well, he was on here a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and he was in the chat, talking to us. Remember that?
Oh yeah, dude. Was that just a month ago?
We might have been a little longer.
Well, because for me, like, time goes by so fast, but then, like, when I'm like, oh yeah, that was like 2 months ago, and then I look, I'm like, oh, that was only a week and a half ago. But time goes by so fast, and I think it was so long ago, but really it was not that long ago at all.
Man, I can't sing nothing. I can't sing nothing. I don't even know if I could sing that tenor. I'm not sure what a tenor is.
I'm not sure either.
It's like it's got a 10 ear or what?
You're not a niner, you're a tenor.
Yeah, and I have seen Simone around.
Simone was just in Hawaii a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. But he still puts the church thing up every Sunday. Or at least the last I looked, he did.
Yep, and he put a couple of videos out a few days ago too. So, yeah, I'm still in touch with him. Good. He just had a lot going on lately.
Oh, that's right. He did become a preacher. Simone did. I forgot about that.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. That's what he said the other. Well, this has been a while back. He's telling about becoming a preacher. I think I was in his stream when he was telling about that. I stopped by one night when he was on. But anyway,
he'd be a great preacher. I could see that too.
Yeah, but the only thing about Simone is, when he's, at least every time I've seen him, he's got that soft voice. You might have to get a little bit louder, to get through the people being a preacher.
Yeah, he's got to have that. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I can't think of anything to say to try to do the voice, but.
Yeah, Buff. He was an associate pastor. I know that. I thought he said he became a full pastor. Maybe I'm wrong. It could be just the associate thing again.
But yeah, Simone needs to be more like a tenor in the highest of the male view voice range. Instead of just like being all calm and mellow.
That dude can sing now. Simone can.
Oh man, he's got a beautiful voice.
He does. He definitely does.
The Gadget Man, Ron Hatton. You cut a groove in the throttle body and can increase fuel mileage over. Really? No shit.
Oh. Anyone here know about the groove in the Gadget Man?
Is that Ron Hatton? Is that his YouTube channel, Blue Jay? I gotta check that out.
What I want to do is figure out how them guys back. I think it was two of them, and they both wound up unalive. But how they made their vehicles run off water. That's what I want. And there's no kind of pollution at all. None when you use water.
And then for some reason they just disappeared, or they unalived themselves, and now they're it's got to be electric, because it's like, well, we already got the answer. If it's that big of a deal, right?
Yeah, right. Well, you remember that guy that goes out and does the videos all over everywhere, and he was showing at one place. I forgot where this is at. But all these people, with electric vehicles, he pulled up one of these charging stations for electric vehicles, and none of them worked. Every one of them is out of order. There's several of them there, about 7 or 8, maybe more there, and none of them work. So what are these people how are they going to charge their cars up? It just, to me, it don't make a lick of sense. And plus if the battery does go out on one of them, what does it cost? About $50,000 for a battery?
Yeah, the batteries are ridiculous. And then when the battery is no good,
can't get rid of it.
What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, poisons is everything.
Yeah, they are a joke. Glorified RC cars. Yep.
They certainly are. Just amazes me that Elon would even take a chance on building some crap like that. What he's thinking there is beyond me.
Right. And what gets me is how I mean, they're so worried about everything, and then I mean, they're dangerous because I almost got hit by one of those because you can't hear them. You literally cannot hear them.
Unless you hear, only thing you could hear, I guess, would be the wheels rolling on the ground. You had to be listening awful close to that, wouldn't you?
Right. Well, that's the thing. This was a while back, like 6-7 months ago, but I was at a customer's house and in their driveway, and I had because I always back in, so I had my passenger sliding door open, and the other side of the driveway was open, and I guess the guy's like son or daughter or somebody was leaving, and I had no idea. I didn't. Usually, you can hear someone start their car, right? And I had no idea, so I went to back up right when they were pulling out, and I was like, "Whoa," you know. So I mean, imagine doing that when there's little kids playing and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so dangerous.
You know those beepers they put on trucks when they're in reverse.
Yeah,
That's what
right.
you got to put on them electric cars, regardless which way they're going, front or backwards. Bus says there ain't no one buying them, and I definitely believe that, but I wouldn't buy one. You know, if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't want one of them. I mean, I don't want to get on the road somewhere and get stranded because I can't find a
right because you ran out of juice.
What are you gonna do? Go to someone's house and say, "Hey, can I charge my car?" Plus, you got to have the right, plug-in to put on it.
Yeah,
so
you have the specific. That's like those memes.
Someone wouldn't let you charge. You couldn't do it.
I've seen those memes where they got like AAA shows up in a gas-powered vehicle and a gas-powered generator to charge the electric vehicle. It's like,
oh, that's funny, man. Definitely serve them right. Well, here's the thing.
There you go, James. There you go, James. What's up, brother James? Good to see you, man. Electric cars should come with audio speakers playing a real race car sound. They should. That's what, instead of the beeping noise, that's what it should be. When they're in drive, it's got the the muffler sound and shit.
Yeah, they need something on them, no doubt about it. It causes a little noise so people won't run over them, like Steve almost did.
I know. I almost backed right into that. Probably would have messed up my back because their rearview mirror was like right there. If they wouldn't have stopped, that mirror would have hit me. And I was just like, where the fuck did you come from?
Did you say, where in a flip-flop did you come from?
Yeah, where in a flip-flopping floppy disk did you come from?
Oh, man. I'll stick with my 20 years old Jeep. That's exactly what I'm saying, Navy. The same thing, except mine's a Lexus.
I like sticking with something I can fix myself for the most part, or change the oil myself, or for the most part fix myself, unless the engine cracks or something. Then I can't do that. But
you sure enough ain't going to be fixing one of those electric cars.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like, what the hell?
That's what I used to do all the time. As a matter of fact, I already was a fairly good mechanic when I went in the Army, but I went through, they trained me to be a vehicle mechanic, which like I said, I already was, and then went on to become a tank mechanic. But there ain't no way that I could figure out how to work on one of them electric cars. I don't even want to work on my own car now, but if it does break down, for the most part, I can fix most of it.
Right. Yep. Tesla won't let you fix your car. Oh shit. Not to mention out here most of the time when there's like just the dumbest driver on the road, they're in a Tesla. It's like, wow, you got $100,000 vehicle, but no self-awareness or just the.
You know what? Steve, don't you? If you were going to buy $100,000 car, wouldn't it? At least for me, I ain't no way I'd do that with a Tesla. I would put it in something, like a Ferrari or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I could really get on down the road. 100 grand for one of them things? No, thank you. To me, it just shows how little bit of how few brains people have got to buy the damn things.
Yeah, well, that's the whole common sense isn't so common anymore. But then those things got the self-driving shit on it, where you just put it in self-driving and put your destination, and then you're still in the driver's seat, but you can take a nap. Like, screw that. I wouldn't trust it. I don't trust it when another person's driving, let alone going to leave it up to a computer. Like, hey, computer, this is where I want to go. I'm going to take a nap. Hell no.
Yeah, another thing, with the electric cars is like during the eclipse, it's going to be dark, and so that the solar things don't work, and there probably won't be much wind blowing because for whatever reason, wind don't blow very hard when it starts getting dark. But what are people going to do then? If they can't find power? And it reminds me, just talking about that. Here in Texas, there are so many people coming down because of that eclipse that you can't find a hotel room. I mean, they've all been taken up because people come all over the world to see this eclipse.
Wow.
They got a lot of money is all I can say.
That many, though? There's like hotels are all booked up and everything?
Yeah, all the way up through where the eclipse is going to happen at, which is right over me, one of them anyway. I mean, the way they showed it. Hello, Awakened. Welcome.
I wouldn't be watching that shit. Hey, Awakened, aloha.
Well, I probably won't be able to watch it whether I want to or not. It's supposed to be cloudy here that day. It may be raining. If it's not, I'm going to go outside and take a look at it. I definitely am. But it's going to be a long way from you, Steve.
Oh, yeah. What? Do you have the glasses?
Well, no. What I mean is, I'll just poke a hole in a piece of paper, and let it, and watch it through that. But you know what? There's some science out there saying that it won't harm you or harm your eyes to look at the sun. I thought, man, I'd like to talk to you whoever the hell you are, because I've looked at it before, and I'm blind for 5 minutes after just looking at it a split second.
I have seen a few videos about, and that I'm like, okay, if you say so, but I'm not. But yeah, there's people that say it's good for you, or it's like, but they like stare at the sun for so many minutes. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You stare at the sun?
That's exactly right. This is what a bunch of them are saying. If you stare at the sun, the times I've done it, not even staring, just glance up at it, white dots and everything for my eyes for another 2 or 3 minutes. I can imagine what 15, 20 minutes staring to it, dude.
Dude, it happened to me yesterday, and I didn't even look at the sun. It was just I went from inside someone's garage out to my van, and just from going from the garage to the van, it was so bright. And then when I went in my van to get what I was getting, I was just seeing yellow spots because it was so, and I didn't even look at the sun at all. And I was seeing yellow spots. So you're telling me you can look at it for a few minutes and it's good for you? Get the flopping floppy disk out of here.
Exactly. That's when they put sun visors in cars. It's when they make sunglasses because the sun hurts your eyes. Better look at it.
Yep.
Come on. It ain't like we might have been born at night. It wasn't last night.
Yep.
But if people want to believe that shit, well, more power to them. All they got to do is look up the sun. They'll find out real quick that it don't feel good on the eyes. It's not like looking at a pretty girl.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. It's not like looking at a pretty. Exactly.
Well, Steve, I don't know about you, but I'm about ready to get on out of here. If you are.
Yeah. Well, shoot, we're over 3 hours. I was gonna say we're going on 3 hours. That went fast. That went
And y'all don't forget now to if you hadn't subscribed to my channel yet, is it still pinned at the top, Steve?
Yep, I got Ronnie's channel pinned at his new backup channel pinned at the top. Which Ronnie still has his other channel. He just doesn't have access to it for another few days. But
that's right. Now I'm not sure. While I'm on the subject anyway, I'm not sure when I'll be back on. It might be. I might just wait until my original channel is free. You know. Then again, I might not. I don't know. But Chap and I may have a show sometime this week. I don't know for sure yet or whatnot, but we do. Y'all all be sure and drop in and say hello.
Yeah. And then this Thursday, me and Dave's Not Here, man, we'll be doing another show at 10:30 Central, 10:30 p.m. Central. And next Sunday, I'm excited for next Sunday. We have a really great guest. His YouTube channel is KULT News, and his name is Mike, and he's a super cool guy, and he's going to be our guest next week, so I'm looking forward to that.
KULT now, what kind of is he in? Which side,
Well,
I guess
that's what we're going to find out. Let's just say he used to kind of be in one of those cults, KULTs, but plus I want to find out what KULT actually stands for, because it doesn't stand for the word cult, but he's got an interesting story. But he's like a First Amendment auditor type.
Oh.
But then again, not really. He doesn't, you know how you got those auditors that purposely go and like try to get a rise out of.
Oh yeah.
Who he's not that guy at all, not even close. He just minds his business, and but we'll see. I got a bunch of questions for him because he's a really cool dude. I've been watching him for a long time, and I've watched him grow from like 15,000 subscribers to he's at like 53,000 right now, I think.
Right on.
So.
Right on for him. Right on for anybody that's not getting strikes and everything, and figured out how to maneuver through the situation without getting one.
Right.
You know, I've learned how to more or less how to keep my mouth shut. Well, you know, I guess to some extent. I still run my head too much, but it's not so much what I say anymore. It's what I show. And believe me, man, if I show the wrong thing on there, they're kicking my butt immediately.
Oh yeah, they're out for you.
No doubt about it. But
hey, there you go, Steve-O. Yep, great public photographer, journalist. He is a great photographer too. So yeah, that's next Sunday, and then Thursday we have Heather Joy coming on, and possibly her sister, and with ghost stories. So make sure to check that out.
Ghost stories. Right on. But I guess I'll get on out of here then, Brother Steve, and we'll see you next week. And all you folks in the chat, thanks for joining us today. Have a great Easter. Even though I don't like that name. I don't care what Jay says, I still don't like it.
Have a great Resurrection Day, Sunday. Have a great Sunday.
Or better yet, have a great Passover.
There you go. There it is, Passover. Yep. And yes, thank you everyone in chat too for all the likes and for hanging out with us, because I know it's Easter and everyone could definitely be out doing something else, but you decided to hang out with us, and I appreciate every one of you. That's awesome.
I didn't even look at the likes or anything, so but I am now. Oh yeah.
Let's see, 63.
Yep. Right on. Now you get a lot more than that on though. You know, when people that didn't see it today get a chance to come around and watch it and like it.
Yep.
Anyway, I love you, Brother Steve, and we'll see you next weekend, I guess.
All right, yeah. And well, I'm sure we'll talk before then, but we'll definitely see you next weekend.
All right, thank you, and thank everybody in the chat once again. Y'all all have a great upcoming week, too. Love all you guys. Love you, Brother Steve, and we'll see you next week.
All right, love you, Ronnie. Love you, brother.
See you later on, bro.
All right, and then everyone, as always, have a beautiful morning, beautiful day, beautiful afternoon, a beautiful evening, a beautiful night, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Much love, much aloha, and most importantly, God bless.
I'm saying we ain't never gonna run though. You playing, but you got the right one though. You can get it out, boy, we get it poppin'.
Damn good show. Aloha, everyone.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours, bullshit pay, so I could just sit here and waste my life away with Steve Harloha and Ronnie K H today. It's such a damn shame.
It's Unfiltered.
Coming in close and hot.
How do you make it out of your front door and you don't even know how to get gas? I just don't get it.
No, they're not going to take us out because they need us. We make the world go round.
You're just taking up space. You're here sucking up air.
How you doing today, brother? I hope everybody's doing great today and having a great weekend. But I said, no, let's go ahead and cook something to eat because I'm starving to death. It ain't nothing like home cooking. She just cooked some breakfast. Well, she made scrambled eggs, with bacon, biscuits, and gravy. There ain't that much left, though, because I ate just about all of it.
It's still like 60 degrees. I'm like, ooh, I'm cold. And
it was cool when I got here, but 2 days later, I got up in the 70s, and everybody went golfing. Tuesday, Halloween, it's supposed to snow in Michigan. Last year, Chris took a picture of me shoveling the driveway in my bathing suit.
I didn't like the cold weather even when I was young, and now that's the last thing I want is cold and snow and everything.
It'll warm up, or in Michigan, it won't.
You, Hawk, Chap, David Devine, my best friends on here. Then after the welcoming part, we get into the deep part when we have our guests up. Well, when we get them on, we can just shut up and let them go.
Make a beer run. That was a long time ago. Ronnie's so old that he remembers preparation A.
I sure do.
Man.
More than likely, sitting there puffing on one of them joints, so.
$15 for an 8.
Gold chip.
It's pretty good.
I think that there was some shit that came over, whether it be underwater, through the ice passage in the ice wall, above water, or maybe it's just portals that can open up.
They've got certain depths that submarines can't even go to.
Any other times in your plumbing career has something sounded as crazy as the Old Faithful butthole story?
Loving this, where the guy comes in and interviews the host. This is wonderful.
It's a great story. I had so many questions.
Maybe for medical misinformation, they could go fuck themselves. We talked absolutely nothing about medical whatsoever. There's 11 full-grown German Shepherds in here right now.
An old friend told me that I look like an orange with a toothpick shoved through it.
There's a special place in hell for that.
He's supposed to be the smart one.
Ronnie, I had to kill that rooster as the rooster's gone.
You're going in one ear and out the other.
You're going to turn the air conditioner up. I know how you get hot when you're sitting in that spot. Satan himself is dwelling right there in that computer, and we are fighting against him, bro. Hey, I want y'all to keep kicking ass because y'all are kicking ass.
Oh, and Gary, this question's been on my mind for a while now. Could you please watch our show more often and keep your son in line?
I tried.
Got a house, bunch of land, and a closet full of guns. Used to ride around town, bumping pocket full of stones. Now I'm on tour, popping, and I'm rocking out these shows. Still know how to lock and load. Where I'm from, we never fold. If you got a problem, come and holler at me on the road. I'm saying we ain't never gonna